Going on, fellas? Welcome to another episode of Player's Choice. We're here in another morning. We're gonna talk some good hoops for you guys today, man. How you feeling today, fellas? What's the word?
I had a question for the fellas because I was thinking about this yesterday. Because we talk a lot about our favorite players. Damo, Mars, who is your guy, and when did you decide you pushed all your chips to the front of the table and this is your guy?
I mean, for me, easy. Lonzo Ball. Hey, man, listen. I was just scrolling through the timeline and I seen this kooky dad hyping up his son. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I look, and the kid plays the game the right way. And I ain't gonna lie, I am a pass merchant. I am a sucker for a good pass. And the kid had the vision way back in high school. He had the defense, he had the passing. He looked like a tremendous shooter. I remember Mike Zimmer dropped the Steph Curry with a 40-foot vertical video, which was awful, but dropped that. And I was like, you know what? I'm all in. Let's see where it goes. I don't know where this is about to take me. I'm gonna support it because I love somebody who plays the game the right way. Got to the league, came to the Lakers. I said, yeah, this is destiny. When I seen him get drafted number 2, that's when I was like, this is destiny.
So when you saw him in high school and then you saw him in college, you was digging him. But when he got to the Lakers, all your chips is pushed to the front of the table.
We got the number 2 pick, and it said with the number 2 pick, the Los Angeles Lakers have selected Lonzo Ball, UCLA, all in. This is destiny. Hey man, whether it's manifested or not, I'm all in on the kid. This is it. This is our point guard. He's breaking Magic's record. I don't care what he does. I don't care where it goes from here. This is my guy. And to be honest, outside of health, I haven't been disappointed. Lonzo's been everything that I thought he would be. Tremendous playmaker, tremendous passer, good playmaker, still need to develop in some ways in the half court. Great pace guy, and his defense actually exceeded my expectations. I didn't think he would be one of the better guard defenders. I thought he had a good frame, he had good size, he had the intangibles. So I thought he would be a guy that would have been an okay defender, won't be a cone. He literally, from day one in the NBA, was a good defender. His rookie year, he was a good defender, and he's only gotten better since then. So yeah, all in on it.
I think he led the Lakers. I think he led the Lakers in assists and rebound in his rookie season.
Probably did. I want to say he averaged what? He averaged like 10, 7, and 7 his rookie year, which is crazy because everyone said he was a bum. And I'm like, a couple years ago, the rookie of the year had 10, 7, and 7, and y'all love Malcolm Brogdon. So what are we doing? We're going to have like 10, 7, and 7 from a rookie isn't okay? And he's shooting terribly? 10, 7, and 7 shooting like dog water. I was like, yeah, if he gets his shot, he's going to be fine. He just can't shoot. Everything else is there.
Malcolm Brogdon won the rookie of the year, by the way. Shooting, and by the way,
I was screaming that. Yes, he did. I'm like, you won rookie of the year with these numbers, and y'all weren't complaining, other than saying it was a weak draft class. But I mean, y'all love Malcolm Brogdon. He dunked on Kyrie and LeBron. Y'all loved him. So what are we doing?
Right. There's a flip side to this question, though, and I'm gonna get to you in a second, Mars. There's a flip side to this question. With you being all in, like Lonzo was your guy, who was the guy that you were in on, and then I'm out?
Russell Westbrook. It is on my channel right now. Y'all can go right there. That's Damo and pull up from the summer of 2016 going into 17. Me calling him Russell Goatbrook. Oh, Russell's going to average a triple-double. Oh, they're going to regret doing Russ like this. Russ is a GOAT. I was hype on Westbrook. He lost to Donovan Mitchell. I was in the theaters watching the Avengers movie. I'm done with him. It's over. He lost to a rookie. I'm done. He's a loser, and it's been loser propaganda ever since.
Mars.
Can anyone guess the player I'm all in on and my favorite player?
Yeah, that was fairly easy.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't made it clear enough.
I'm in Thompson.
I mean, Magic Johnson with athleticism he's up there. But yeah, it's Jalen Green from high school. He made me watch the G League. So that was.
You know what, Mars? He made me pay more attention to the G League too. Yes, he did. I ain't gonna lie about that. He did make me pay more attention to the G League. He did do that.
And he was very good in the G League too. And then now I'm a Houston fan for one reason and one reason only. It's because he's going to be the greatest player of all time. But the player I was all in on and now I'm all out on. I don't know, because I try not to be biased, like unless it's a Houston player, then I'll be as biased as I want. But I try not to be biased, so I don't think there's people who I just actively only speak negatively on unless I think is quote unquote justified. I was never all in on like DeMar DeRozan or anything.
Let me ask you
Most
this,
of the
Mars.
time I'm right. Most of the time I'm right about a player, so it doesn't really switch up.
Yeah, Damo. That's the British thing.
True.
But anyway,
bro, it hasn't switched up. When have I been wrong about a player?
Mars, so you
wrong about Jackson Hayes.
You were so wrong about him, by the way. But any what? Yes, you are wrong about it. You're wrong about Jackson Hayes. But anyway, Mars, the question that I'm asking you is, you saw Jalen Green in the G League, so you wasn't all in yet. Like you was just fascinated. Like, okay, I'm digging this guy. At what point were all your chips pushed to the front of the table? Or are you all in on Jalen? Are you all in on Jalen Green? Because you are definitely a front runner, Mars.
I'm a front runner for
Jalen. Front runner, 100%. I ain't say you was a front runner for Jalen Green. I said you're a front runner.
How am I a front runner?
You will jump off the boat. You are that guy, Mars.
I jumped on a boat that was sinking.
Actually, you jumped on a boat that was being put back together. You didn't jump on a boat.
I jumped on a boat where the captain of the boat was Stephen Silas. I clearly have no respect for my life because that boat was going nowhere. So it's not my fault they happened to get Ime Udoka, and now the boat seems to be able to get itself back out the water and actually sail to where it's meant to get to. That was just coincidental. I didn't foresee that. Shout out to Stephen Silas, now on the Pistons coaching stuff. But I think I was all in on Jalen Green from high school. I think the reason I followed the G League is because I wanted to say I was with Jalen Green from the beginning. I was there. I remember watching him in the G League. I knew what he was going to be. So I think it's been a steady progression where I've been here understanding that this is the person up next and I'm going to be right at some point. I don't think there was a defining moment. There was a time he had 40 in his rookie season that I was like, interesting. But I don't know if there's really a moment for me that did it. The dunk contest nearly cooked it because that was bad. But other than that, I think it's been pretty consistent. And players that I was fully out, like I'm now fully out. I don't think I'm fully out on anyone. Literally, I don't think I'm fully out on anyone. And anyone I am maybe fully out on, I was never invested in heavily.
So, you were never invested in DeMar DeRozan. That's a fact.
Yeah, so I was never invested in James Wiseman. I was never invested in Julius Randle. And they're like the three players who I get a hater of the most. Definitely wasn't invested in Amani Bates. So that's another one.
Hey, Amani did his thing the other day, though.
I never watched the game, but yeah, I've got a lot of people telling me that I'm going to be wrong about Amani Bates. If I am, then yeah, I'm wrong. I'm not. Once again,
I'd be happy to be wrong.
That's the thing. I don't mind being wrong about someone. I'm not here rooting for his downfall, so I can be like, oh yeah, I told you I was right. Right. Like, if I'm right, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I was right. And if I'm wrong, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I was wrong. So far, I think I've been right. I said he'll be a bottom 10 pick of the draft. He was. I said he's an elite shooter. He is. I don't think he's going to be an elite shot creator in the NBA. We'll see if I'm right about that. I also said he'll be in the G League this year. He's on a 2-way contract. I've been right about Amani Bates so far. We'll see what happens. If I'm wrong about him, I'll happily say I was wrong. And everyone can clown me and be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'll be like, fine. Because I don't care too much about having to be right to where I would deny the truth. I'm not going to do that.
Right. Two things. Honorable mention, all the guys that had crazy ballers life, hoop mixtapes, all those basic high school mixtape era from 2011 to 2015 for me. All those guys that had like the viral ones, the real good ones, I was pretty high on all of them, and then they never panned out. So those guys too were guys I was super high on. They just didn't pan out, so I took my chips back. And yeah, Austin Rivers went crazy. Somebody said Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers went crazy in high school. Those and damn, what was the other one? I literally just had it. Mars just said something that reminded me of something. I literally just had it. I forgot it. Fuck it.
Right.
Hey, one thing I do want to say about Mars and Chill, I actually want to ask you the same question that you asked him. I want to ask you, but the thing that I like about you guys, both you guys' answers, I thought you guys was gonna say like I don't know, Giannis and Jokic or something like that. I liked how you guys went to guys at their grassroots level and was like, nah, I connected with him when he was basically a teenager and followed him through his whole progression. And the thing about like Damo, obviously, like Lonzo, he's going through some turmoil right now. We're wishing for a speedy recovery for him, and hopefully he gets back to even being better than what he was before, because he had a ceiling that I wanted to see him possibly reach. But Mars, even with you're all in on Jalen Green, and we don't even know what his future holds. Like, obviously, he has a bright future. We're expecting a breakout year from him this year, but for all we know, Jalen Green could turn out to be a bust. And we're actively seeing it right now. Hey, you know how I feel about Jalen. You know what I've been saying, but I'm saying, like, for all we know, it could happen. But right now, like, you're actively all in. What'd you say?
He could be Tyreek Evans. He could pull a Tyreek Evans. You never know. You never know, man.
Tyreek Evans just got done dirty by Sacramento.
They didn't have any idea what they were doing up there, Mars. None whatsoever.
So this year, the Rockets didn't know what they were doing. They had no idea what they were doing in Houston until this year.
That's why they packed up Steven Silas. And now Steven Silas is going to be there helping Jalen Duren. So maybe Jalen Duren might become James Wiseman.
You do not.
Right, relax.
Yeah, let's chill out.
Oh, what happened to you? Never know. What happened to that? Okay.
Don't say that. Oh, it was. I remember the point. It was the being wrong on players. There is like a handful of players that I've been wrong. Kentucky guys, I've been wrong about a ton of Kentucky guys. Back in the day, I don't know if people remember, but coming out of college, Cat was, because how Calipari runs his bigs, he has them all play traditional. So you never know what guys' real game is. Like Bam back in the day. AD, you never know these guys have offensive games because he makes them play low post, rim run, fill the lane, traditional big. So a guy like Cat, when he was in college, him and Willie Cauley-Stein played next to each other. And I could have swore Willie Cauley-Stein was the better player. So when Cat got drafted #1, I was like, he wasn't even the best player on the team. This is crazy. Cat proved me wrong. De'Aaron Fox, I was out on De'Aaron Fox. Now, you can call it bias for Lonzo, but I'm going to just say I didn't see it. I'm like, all right, everybody's an athletic point guard that dunks. He's not going to pan out. De'Aaron Fox proved me wrong. I love to be proven wrong when it comes to players coming into the league and shutting me up. I love that. I would rather you prove me wrong than I be right. I love being Mr. I told you so, but I love even more me being wrong about a guy and him paying Devin Booker. I didn't see Devin Booker being this. I seen him being a good scorer, or at the very most a great shooter, but to be, as I called him at one point, baby Kobe light, diet Kobe in terms of just trying to score and be in a bucket with that dog, I didn't see that from Devin Booker. He was coming off the bench in college. I didn't see that.
He was the sixth man of the year in the SEC. Yes, he was.
I like this pace though, but it was other people that kind of like turned me on to Devin Booker, because it was like a lot of you kind of got mixed reviews from him. It was people saying, oh well, he wasn't even good enough to start on this team, but it was other people like, yo, if you look at his pace, if you look at the way he's able to get to his spots, if you look at how clean his game just looks, he's going to be a star in this league. And I was like, I don't really see that, but I mean, he is smooth. Did y'all hear the Tyson Chandler story on Devin Booker?
No.
So Tyson Chandler was
when he had him come in and it was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a best player. Yeah, I've seen that.
I didn't see it.
So it was the first open gym, and this is just an open gym, and he's in there, and he's like, this is when Phoenix was basically trash, but they had Eric Bledsoe and Brandon Knight, so they were that was like the two. He was saying that those were like the two best players that year supposedly, and they were who they were building around. So Tyson Chandler comes in. He's obviously a vet. Can't wait to talk about vets later on the show. But he's obviously the vet. So he's in there. He's looking at everything. And there, he basically is playing with Devin Booker. He's on his team. He said after a couple games, he starts looking at Devin Booker like, nah, he's going to be real good. And then so he's like, after open gym, he goes and he talks to like the GM. And he's like, yo, out of everybody in here, that's your best player. And the GM was like, huh? He was like, yeah, Devin Booker. He's your best player right now. If anything, you need to build around him. He was like, today he's the best player on the team. And he was like, it was what really sold him was how they were out there playing, and he was telling them to do little things. And he said he was just picking it up on the fly and doing it immediately. And he was like, man, this dude's in the league that have been in the league for years, and they can't pick up certain things like that. He was like, so his ability to pick it up and just put it into play immediately, he said that's how he knew he was going to be a special player.
Word. All right. Definitely.
I was wrong about Jaylen Brown. That's one I can think of I was wrong about. I didn't see this from him. I saw just someone who would be a transition player and defender. So when he got picked third, I remember I was actually no, I wasn't watching basketball at the time. Never mind. Let me not lie. No, I didn't think anything about Jaylen Brown.
But just from the first time you seen him, you didn't think he was going to be this good.
Yeah,
because Jaylen Brown has taken steps. What, the last like 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, even though his handle is still obviously we talk about it all the time. From where it was, the improvement has been tenfold. I didn't ever think he'd be someone who could create his own shot at the NBA level. Now in the playoffs, yeah, sure, we see that he still has problems, blah blah blah. But if someone would have told me that Jaylen Brown was going to be a 27-point per game scorer, a great shot creator, can shoot the three, that's a lot of things that I just didn't see early on. So that was one play.
When he first showed up, Mars, if I told you, yo, his peak season, he's 27-7, he's an all-pro.
Yeah,
are you buying that?
I wouldn't, because I thought him going number 3 was insane. I just didn't see what I guess Danny Ainge saw, and that's why he works in the front office and I don't.
And again, I was really wrong about. Like, I'm looking at the draft classes right now from like that 2014 to 19 range. I'm trying to find somebody I was like really wrong about, and
I wasn't sold on Bradley Beal. I wasn't, because I had seen him in college. I saw him in college, and he was a really good athlete, but I didn't think that he'd be the scorer on the next level that he was. I was not sold on Bradley Beal, and then he clearly became that. So I was definitely wrong about that.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You got it.
I did think that Gilchrist was going to be better than what he was. I was completely wrong about him. I don't get me wrong. I didn't think that he'd be an all-pro or anything like that because he had a funky shot, but he kind of gave me the vibe of him just being an athlete, right? With just him being an athlete. A lot of the stuff he could pick it up later. He would get by. He would get by on that, and he just didn't seem to pick up the pro game at all. It just didn't translate with him at all. I was wrong about him. 100%, I was wrong about him.
I was 1,000% wrong about Thon Maker, but that's a reasonable mistake.
Oh,
that was a reasonable
mistake. He was on the Thon Maker.
That was a reasonable
we all
mistake,
were, Mars. We all were. We all were. At that time, we talking about a 6'10" guy who could knock down the mid range, who could shoot the three, ball handler, who could not just knock down the three, he could rebound, he could protect the rim. Focus, Damo.
No. I found a name. I was looking at the draft and I seen the name of somebody I was really high on, and I'm super.
And I was in on him. He kind of looked like a better version of Jabari Parker. Like that's kind of what I was thinking about. Like that kind of player coming into the league. And when it didn't pan out, I was surprised that he didn't.
I remember
that he didn't turn out to be that good.
So I actually went to go and watch him. He wasn't playing like college or anything. He was playing it looked like he was just playing some AAU stuff. Like it didn't even look like real high school. So I was watching him, and the one thing that stood out to me, his hands were just bad. Like whether it came to him losing the ball, or he couldn't catch, or him just messing up passes. Like I don't know if he had small hands or something. Maybe scouts could tell you what his hand measurements were, but he seemed to just have really bad hands. That was something that kind of threw me off of him a little bit. Then his floor vision wasn't great, and the shot was good in the highlights, but then when you actually watch him, it wasn't that great. It wasn't very great around the rim. So I was like, I don't really believe I don't believe in the All-Star, but I think he could be an NBA player. Then I started hearing, oh my God, he's actually 23, not 19. I was like, okay, yeah, if that's true, yeah, I don't believe at all. And then I still don't know what actually was the case. I know he went 10 and then he was in Detroit for a while. And then now I think he's in China, I think. So
that makes sense.
So yeah, I wasn't really too high on him, but I can say I still refuse to believe I was wrong about Markelle Fultz.
He's going to prison, Daniel. Just so you know, Daniel, he's going to prison. That's the deal with him. He's going to prison. For real?
He's going to trial.
He's certainly going to prison, or is it just?
I think
is it something that's overhyped? And
He's on.
Well, I don't know if
he's
it's
facing
overhyped.
28
Yeah.
years. I heard. But
So he's facing like
gun
6.
charges.
He's like 6.
You know-
Yeah, 6 or 7 gun charges. It's crazy.
You guys know how that be though. Like they'll
do.
come, and especially media, they'll be like, "Oh my God, this dude's facing up to 28 years, this many charges, and this, and this," and then he'll get off.
End up with probation.
Yeah, end up on probation and stuff.
Something like that.
So sometimes they'll just talk about what the worst case scenario would be, but more than likely they'll never get dished at unless some crazy evidence comes about, or unless he just disrespects the judge.
But when you're talking about gun charges, illegal gun charges, which is what he had in the state of California, they're really strict about gun charges. California and New York are very similar in their gun laws. So I'd be really surprised if he didn't go to jail. Really surprised.
I think he'll serve like a couple of years, but I think he has good enough lawyers and he has enough money to.
I think he's about to serve a couple years.
I don't even know what the charge is, so I have no input on this. I just know he's facing possibly 28 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know he blew it. That's all I know. He blew it.
That is a fact.
And I'm done talking about him because he's been in high school for 7 years. I don't really care no more. It's what it feels like. I feel like Michael Williams been in high school for like 7 years. Since I was in high school, it feels like. So I'm done. I'm done with these basketball players that grew up with good lives and have fortunate circumstances and want to live like NBA YoungBoy. I'm over it. Especially the young guy. I'm over it. So whatever happens to him, hey man, find God. I don't know what to tell you. I'm over it. Dante Exum was the other guy I was about to say. Chill. I was super high on Dante Exum, and that could be like partial. Like
I was too.
Dante back in the league now.
Yeah, he is. He's on the Mavericks. But what you call it? I want to say it was Rob Pelinka, because Rob Pelinka was Kobe's manager, right? Because they had him and Kobe had the same manager.
That was his agent.
Yeah,
that was his
Rob
agent.
Pelinka sold me. 2K sold me.
Yeah, 2K. I was gonna say the 2K15 my career story.
Sold me. I'm like, yo, I don't know why they making this Australian dude my rival, but he gotta be him. There's no way. I've never seen it before. He's gotta be him if I'm battling Dante Exum, no matter what position I'm playing. And then Rob Pelinka sold me. He represents him and Kobe loves his game and vouches for him. Me as a Laker fan, you got the Kobe nod? Oh yeah, he gotta be nice. Liars, man. That's why he just lied right there. Dante Exum, I grew up that day. That day that I realized, Rob Pelinka just lied to people. They do that in the NBA. They'll just lie for guys. Oh my God. That's when they set it in. It's a business for them.
Bro, Marvin Williams was a guy that was super hyped coming out of college. I think that was one of the first seasons I actually watched college basketball. And he was everyone thought he had the length, the athleticism, had everything go for him. He just kind of flopped in the NBA. So that's a guy that everyone I thought
he was the next big thing.
Something his side was crazy at North Carolina. They just thought, again, everybody who was good at North Carolina was getting that Jordan hype at that time too. So looks like that.
Chill. Who's a guy? And this is dating back. It's as far as you can remember. Who's a guy that you've been all in on, or who you was like, yo, I'm rocking with this guy, and he turned out to be like as good as advertised, or almost as good as advertised.
Well, when I was coming up, guys went to college, so we got to follow them all through college and just have an idea of what they were going to look like once they got to the pros. And I dug Dominique Wilkins in college, and I dug Jordan in college. In '85, after the dunk contest, because that was the second year that they had implemented All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend wasn't really a thing up until then. They had implemented All-Star Weekend in the '85 when Dominique Wilkins beat Jordan in the dunk contest. I was all in on Nick. He was my guy, and he was already the human highlight film, and he was buckets. I always feel like players have what you call aha moments that general managers should recognize. Like, okay, this is my guy. For example, in Jordan in '86, and when they played against the Celtics in the playoffs, I was all in on Jordan after that. Going into the '86-'87 season, I was all in on him.
This is 63?
This is the 63. I was all in on Jordan. I was like, Digger, your franchise player right there. This is the guy you should be building your unit around. 87, I felt the same way about 87 and 88. I felt the same way about Barkley and about Malone. Those are the guys that I felt that I'm all in on these dudes. Jason Tatum in the summer league in the summer of 2017. I had seen him at Duke, and I thought he was a fine player. But when I seen him in the summer league, I was thinking, yo, I think this dude look like he'll be 20 a game. It was in, I think, his rook season when he dunked on LeBron. I was in. I was like, This is I was like, I'm all in on this dude. I think this dude is going to be the real deal, and he became the real deal. Now, in terms of being out on a guy, Damo just reiterated it. Damn, Damo, it's like seeing a chick that's fine as hell, and then you realize, you know what, you ain't really that smart. Damn, because I really dig you. That's how I felt about Russell Westbrook. It was like, you know what, I don't think he's that smart. And it really hurt me because I was all in on Russ. It was after the 11 FIBA World Championships when I recognized that I think he was better than Derrick Rose. I was all in on Russ. It was when they lost in 2016 in the Western Conference Finals. I was out. I was like, yo, I don't think he's that smart. And at that point, I was out. I was out on Russ.
I couldn't even do that to him that year because him and KD choked. So I was like, all right, y'all both played bad.
Right.
I give you a pass. Y'all both were awful. After 18, nah, buddy.
You was out.
17, it was like, all right, you don't got no help. You got Baby Oladipo out here, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. He don't know what he's doing as the second-best player. The rookie Sabonis. Like, it's really just you versus you right now. Like, I give you a pass. You got an excuse for me, Pimp. You don't got to win. Just play basketball. And you got PG and Melo, and I understand they both play bad as well. You're the leader of PG and Melo, and you go out like that to a rookie? No, not doing it. Nah.
Damo, 93 shots in game 5 and game 6. 93 shots. I don't know how your math works, Mars. That's an average of, I think that's 41 shots a game he was shooting in those last 2 games.
46.
40, yeah, something crazy like
That's
that
crazy.
on average. And he got Paul George and Carmelo Anthony on the team, and he's shooting that many shots. I was out before then, but I was definitely out by then. And then the next year when Damian Lillard just basically ate his lunch, it was a wrap. And in 96, I was out on Ewing. It became, you're never going to win it with this dude. You're not. We're never going to win it with him. Nope. I was out. Unfortunately, I was a big Ewing fan coming out of college. He went to Georgetown, and it was in the Northeast. The Big East was a big deal back in the early 80s, and you got to see guys grow up. And for the Knicks to get Patrick Ewing and for him to come to New York from Georgetown and to watch them build a championship team and just to never get over the hump. And then Jordan retires, and then they still can't do it. And then he comes back. Then they come back in 96, and then they lose in the first round. I'm out. I'm good on Ewing.
That's how I kind of feel about. That's how I kind of feel about Vince Carter. Vince Carter after that so obviously his coming out party was that dunk contest. So that 2000 season, he's averaging 25 for his second year in Toronto. We all know what he did for Toronto, right? So he was huge. That third season, after the season against Philly, I'll tell you this: there was Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady's in the league, Paul Pierce, Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant. Out of all those guys, you ask me who's going to be the best player out of that bunch for the career, I'm taking Vince Carter. After that Philly series, I'm taking Vince Carter to be the best player out of that bunch. And he just never got there. The talent was there, the skill. He never got there. By the time he got with New Jersey, we saw what he did. I'm like, all right, he had a couple, down spots in the playoffs. But then with Orlando, I was like, wait, he got Dwight now. Maybe he can still do his thing. And after that, it was just like, damn, he really not about to take that next leap.
Yo, I think y'all being disingenuous with the Russ, with the Russes and the Vince Carters. No, here's why I'm saying this. Those guys had better careers than 98% of NBA players ever.
Oh,
like they Russ exceeded expectations times 10. Nobody. Chill. If I chill at UCLA, because it's the same Lonzo Ball theory. He was coming off the bench behind guys like Darren Collison and Drew Holiday. If I would have told you, not Lonzo, Devin Booker.
Okay.
Damn, look at you defending your man's like this. But
okay. First of all, Ron, he came off the bench that 1 year. The next year he did.
He started.
So it wasn't like he came off the bench the whole time. Devin Booker actually came off the bench. He was the 6th man of the year in the SEC. Russell Westbrook took his team deep into the tournament. I think they went to the Final Four with Kevin Love. I think they went to the Final Four. So it wasn't like
Russ wasn't even a point guard in college. So like,
no, he played
just off that. It's like no one would have
play off the ball.
Russ is going to lead.
I think he exceeded expectations.
Yeah, he greatly exceeded expectations. If I was to take it, look, if we were to take the top, other than Giannis, if we were to take and Jokic too, if we were to take the top 20 players in NBA and say who exceeded expectations the most, I think you got to put Russ up there. No, I'm telling you, and it's all along the lines of if I told you this guy would average a triple-double for 4 seasons, if I told you he would lead the league in assists multiple seasons, if I
I'm
told
not
you he
gonna
would
go that
lead the
far.
league in scoring, if I told you
not
he would
gonna
be an Olympian, if I told you he would do all of this, you guys would be like, man, get out of here.
An MVP.
Well, the
I was
Olympic
looking
part,
at like I'm not saying Olympic part. I would have believed
Yeah.
because Melo was winning an Olympics, so anybody can at that point. So
Right.
I would have at that point. I would have been like, I mean, anybody can win an Olympics if you got a good team. But the rest of you spitting, I ain't gonna lie to you.
But see, with Vince though, even though he had a great career, we all realized he should have been in a different conversation. Just like Gilbert said best. Like I thought he left so much out. He's the greatest player who I think we still have a what if. To me, there's still such a what if with Vince because he had all the skills to be a top
some
10
people
player.
think
combo.
Shaq is a what if.
100%. That 100%.
Shaq
Exactly.
is a
Right. So Shaq.
There's a
maybe
part of
Shaq
me
has
that
title.
thinks Shaq's a what if.
Shaq and Vince are
Why
both great
would Russ be a what if though? What on what level is Russ a what if?
No, he
I
said
think he
Vince is
maximizes
a what if.
talent.
Vince is a what if.
Vince.
he
I
said.
said Vince.
Okay.
Vince Carter.
Vince.
Yeah.
Why is Vince a what if? What about Vince makes him a what if? What if he what?
I feel like he had the game to be a multiple time champion. He had the game to be Kobe Bryant, if not better.
Right.
What Kobe did in the playoffs, elevating all that. Like he just 100%. I think he could have been Kobe Bryant, and he had all the skills, all the talent, and I think with Vince, what everyone realized it was the mentality. It was just a mentality, like whether he didn't want to, whether maybe he didn't put in the work. I always questioned this with Vince too. Early in Vince's career, his first decade, we never heard stories about Vince in the gym, putting in work, grinding. It was always this guy could get out of bed, not stretch, come on the basketball court, dunk a basketball, score at will. And in the second half of his career, that's when he started talking about taking care of his body, doing all that. So I wonder if he took that in the first half of his career when all of his natural attributes and physical abilities were still at his peak. If that was put together, maybe he could have reached those heights. But something about Vince, think about it, he peaked in his third year. A player like Vince Carter peaked. His best season ever was his third year in the league. How is that possible?
Well, is that a what if a guy just doesn't have it mentally? I mean, you just
I see what you're saying.
You just are that guy. There are plenty of guys that play in the NBA who don't love the game, that they just show up and they do their job and they go home. Don't get me wrong. From a talent standpoint, I thought Vince Carter was going to be next up. No doubt about that. But I mean, there aren't many guys that actually have that thing in them. Bryant had it in them. James, Olajuwon. There aren't many guys that have that in them. And because Vince doesn't have that in him, I don't think that makes him a what if. I just think that that's just who he is.
I think when you have everything else and that's the only thing that's missing, it's a what if for me. Like when you have
Jalen, I don't think he's a what if. He just wasn't as good as Kobe. He wasn't as good as Allen Iverson. He wasn't as good as Tracy McGrady. He wasn't as good as he was probably Ray Allen. You could say him and Ray Allen were on the same tier. But I'm saying it was just guys he was not better than. And those are just the shooting guards. I'm not mentioning the Jason Kidds of this world. I'm not mentioning the big man era that he had to go through. He was, first off, he wasn't teamed up with none of those guys. He didn't get with Jason Kidd until later. And then you see what they did. But at the same time, first off, he wasn't good enough. And second off, he didn't have a good enough running mate for a long enough period to make something happen.
So when you say he wasn't good enough, I thought he had the game that was better than those guys. Like there were just games, not like a totality of a season, but there was games and stretches where it's like he was the best player in the league. There was
you're higher on Vince Carter than I think most people are, and I love Vince. I think in terms of
where I felt like Vince was the best player in the league ever. I never felt like that about Vince Carter. Even in stretches, I never felt like he was the best player in the league.
I actually think when he got traded to the New Jersey Nets, that second half season, he was the best player in the league. When he got traded, that was in 2000. Yep, and when he got traded
after he just stopped playing basketball for Toronto.
Yeah, after he stopped playing basketball, stopped dunking, whatever. He went to the Nets. He was the best player in the league. I'm telling you, but he was 100% the best player in the league. Go back and watch.
And I mean, but
crazy.
Jalen, I mean, here's another thing too. Obviously, with him playing for Toronto, you probably grew up a major Vince Carter fan, and so when he went to New Jersey, you were probably following him heavily. So I mean, I could see why you might think that, and it might be true. I don't know what was he doing for you to think that.
Everything. 28 a game, scoring, shooting threes, mid-range, attacking the basket, playmaking, rebound. He was doing everything. He didn't have a single weakness in his game. There's nothing he couldn't do. Like there's literally nothing he couldn't do. We talk about players with weaknesses. Vince didn't have a weakness.
Sure, he did. He wasn't. I
guess
he didn't have that. Yeah.
I mean that exactly.
There it is.
Vince was the truth, though. I will give it to him.
That part I won't fight, Ron. And I don't think that there's anybody that would argue that. But unfortunately, I don't think he was ever Shaq good. I don't think he was ever Bryant good. I don't think he was ever Tim Duncan good. I don't think he was ever that. I don't think he was ever James good. I don't think he was ever that good, ever.
All right, fellas.
Shooter back then. That's crazy.
He was a phenomenal shooter. People don't realize.
Now Vince is an underrated shooter on the 3 and mid range.
Yeah, I didn't realize the shooting was like that. Honorable mention for guys I was all in on from day one. Hey man, call me a homer. First Caruso and then Austin Reeves from day one. There was no question. I was screaming, put him. No, I'm serious. Austin Reeves' rookie year, his true rookie year. I heard the story of why they call him Hillbilly Kobe. I was sold. Alex Caruso from the G League to the Summer League I was sold on the ball-headed menace, man. That's where the ball-headed menace name came from. I just gave it to Jordan because we don't got Caruso no more. But I called him the ball-headed menace because he was on business for real. Like,
so Jordan just inherited it?
He inherited it. I turned the positive to a negative.
For all the wrong reasons, yeah.
But yeah.
I knew about Caruso in college. Shaq went to ASU, so they ended up playing them in the preseason before conference. And so it was Texas A&M. Obviously, Caruso and Daniel House both went to Texas A&M. And I didn't know about either of them. I obviously knew who Shaq and his team was. So they go and they play against them. Caruso gets a dunk and jumps from the dotted lines. And I'm like, who is this half black white boy out here jumping like this? And then Daniel House, he was their best player. So he was, the announcers were showing him a bunch of love, and he had like 20-something that game. But both of them got down. So I knew about them ahead of time. Then I followed them for the rest of the year, and I was like, all right, these dudes is pretty good. So when he got to the Lakers, I was like, no, he could ball. I didn't know how good he was going to be. He ended up exceeding my expectations, but I knew he was athletic, and I knew he could play defense. Hey, but in terms of players that I was all in on that never panned out. Well, I wouldn't say he never panned out. He just didn't be as good as I thought he was going to be. And this goes back to what Damo said
that's not panning out, Ron.
I'm gonna let you guys determine whether he panned out. But during the high school mixtape era, number 1 point guard in the nation, Brandon Jennings. I'm like, oh man, Brandon Jennings is about to be the truth.
That mixtape was crazy.
Injuries. I feel like that was injuries that derailed him. Though I don't feel like he ain't panning out because of his abilities. He just ended up getting injured. But I ain't gonna lie to you, Brandon Jennings was like that. I ain't gonna hold
for a second.
He was cold.
He was.
So coming into the draft,
then he put 50, 55 on Curry.
55. Yeah, it was in his rookie year too, wasn't it? It was his rookie year.
His seventh game.
Yeah, exactly.
It was both their rookie years. They were rookies. And Steph got cooked.
That was an era where like a lot of those guards, Brandon Jennings, Josh Shelby, OJ Mayo, they were all getting a lot of hype, and it just kind of didn't work out for any of them.
Hey, so yeah, in his draft class, obviously it was Ricky Rubio, it was Steph, it was Johnny Flynn, Brandon Jennings, it was a couple other point guards too, Drew Holiday, Ty Lawson, Jeff Teague, Darren Collison. So all these point guards come out. I'm like, nope, that's the best one right there. Oh, Tyreek Evans too. I'm like, that's the best point guard right there. Brandon Jennings, gonna be better than Steph Curry, gonna be better than Ricky Rubio, gonna be better than all of these guys. And 5 years later, Steph does what he does, and Brandon Jennings is
saying me out. I ain't gonna lie to you, saying it like that. Yeah, it didn't pan out. Brandon's gonna be better than Steph Curry. Yeah, that's when it turns into that didn't pan out for real.
I thought Steph was gonna flop too. I remember the hype he was getting. I just thought he got hot in the Cinderella run during college. I thought it was too small, too skinny. I thought he was gonna be a flop. I thought Ricky Rubio was gonna be better, because he was kind of a huge generational thing at the time. People were hyping him. Johnny Flynn, even in college, he was at Syracuse, if I don't believe, right? Syracuse? Yeah, I thought he'd be better. So I was not high on Steph at all. I just thought he got hot at the right time.
And you still hating 15 years,
right?
Y'all not seeing
Mars? Is he still on that, Mars?
Still hating.
Man, that's crazy.
Deep down, Jalen still thinks he's not going to pan out. He's still like, at some point, Steph's going to prove me right.
I don't know what the deal
is, fall off.
2 MVPs later, but he's going to be like, when he starts averaging 16, he'd be like, I told you he wasn't that good.
Right? He wasn't that good.
I knew Steph would be this. I knew Steph would be this, man. Because when you're from the hoop state, there's nothing but excellence. So, I mean, he's a Carolina boy. I'm like, what do we, when, like Iman Shumpert said, when he played in the Garden, The confidence is changing, G. He went back to Davidson. I said he's not coming back from Davidson no more. This is Steph now. He's that guy. It's over. And
I didn't think he'd be that good.
I was wrong about Steph Curry. I remember I'm like at the lunch table and I'm like, nah. Steph is cool. Bro, when this little bro get in the lead, though, Steph Curry, I remember the take to this day. Steph Curry is going to clear Steph. Steph Curry is going to be way better than his brother. That was my mindset. For no reason. I had no reason to believe this. Because he wasn't he wasn't that good at Duke. I don't know why I put blind faith in Steph. Steph Curry was not killing the game at Duke or nothing. I'm just like, nah. Y'all think Steph good? Wait till his little brother get in the league. That's the real lethal shooter. I was wrong.
When I saw him in that NCAA tournament against Georgetown, when I saw him against Kansas, well, number one, yeah, when I'm watching this dude, and I'm like, that's a pro right there. That was the first thing I thought watching him, just watching his off-ball movement, watching him shoot the basketball. I'm like, that's a pro right there. And then he gets to the NBA, and he's essentially doing the same thing in the NBA that he was doing in college. And don't get me wrong, Damo. Did I think 32 a game, 45% on the long ball good? No, I didn't think he'd be that good. But I didn't think he would be a bust or he'd be whack like Jalen's saying. No, I did not think that. I thought he'd be really good. I was thinking like a smaller version of like Dale Ellis. That's who I was thinking about when I saw him.
That's a hell of a player.
Nah.
Yeah.
But there's one game that a lot of people won't know about because it was his rookie season. The Warriors were not good. I advise anyone, if you're interested and you was like Steph Curry or you just like interesting stories, there was a game in Steph's rookie year. They played Portland. The Warriors had like 6 players who were actually healthy and could play basketball. They had 6 players. So Steph ends up playing all 48. Monte Ellis ends up playing all 48. Reggie Williams plays all 48. Anthony Tolliver plays all 48. And I think who is it? I think their big man, what's his name? I can't remember his name. He ends up going down in the first quarter.
Beardrins?
No, I don't think it was Beardrins. I think it was Chris Hunter. I could be wrong. But their big ends up going down in the first quarter. So then they bring in Devin George. Devin George is now the only other player they have who's available to play. Corey Maggotti's not there. He can't play. They end up having Ronnie Turiaf, who I think is hurt, and he can only play for like 5 seconds. And they bring him in the game. Devin George ends up fouling out of the game, but because no one else can play, he still has to stay in the game with 6 fouls. So now it's a thing where if you foul with 6 fouls, it's a technical and the team keeps the ball. They were having to play like that. Steph ends up dropping 40 and they beat Portland. That game, I advise anyone to go find it, is one of the weirdest games I've ever seen. A team that could only play with 5 people, 4 people playing all 48 in a regular season game. The Warriors ended up winning like 29 games that year. It was one of their.
This was his rookie season, Miles. Is what you're saying?
Steph was a rookie. He goes and drops 42 in a game against Portland, and they win. And they only had 5 players who could play the whole game.
I'll go look that up.
It's a hell of a game. It's very interesting. I advise. It's a great game to watch. So I advise anyone to go watch that.
Colin Sexton, same story as Mars. That Alabama game when they only had like 3 eligible.
I'll remember that.
He dropped like 40 or 50, whatever it was. It was just being a dog. I was like, yo, he gets to the league, wherever he goes, he's gonna be a winner. Like he's just gonna give him that grit and grind energy. Now, am I wrong? Maybe. But I still like Colin Sexton.
I never
My
saw
little
the hype
brother's
on
a
Tyler.
huge Colin Sexton fan.
Damn. I never understood the hype of Tyler Hansbrough. I remember him in UNC. He had the ugliest game. He had the ugliest game in college basketball history. For a guy putting up 16, 20 points in college, he had the ugliest layup package, the ugliest post moves I've ever seen in my life.
What is this, 2K?
I'm just saying he had nothing. Like he had no basketball skills. It was all hustle, hard, and I get that. In college, it was cool. But I knew in the NBA,
respect the Hansbrough brothers,
bro. He had nothing.
Yo, respect the Tar Heel legend, bro. Respect the former all-time leading rebounder in Tar Heel history.
Tar Heel legend. I'll give it. He a Tar Heel legend. He a Tar Heel legend. But ugliest game I've ever seen, and I knew that game wouldn't work in the NBA. Him just jumping up and down, turning, crying around, tossing it up. He had the most random toss-ups going I've ever seen in my life. This guy was just crashing and throw the ball up. I'm telling you right now, Tyler Hansbrough was like the worst great player I've ever seen in college. It's the weirdest thing ever.
Yo, watch your mouth. Yo, this is like the third Carolina thing you done had this episode. We not even an hour in.
I'm a Duke guy. Shout out JJ Redick. Shout out Nolan Smith.
You know what else you shout out? You know what else you shout out? When was the last time you watched Coach K coach? What happened?
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Better yet, the last time Coach K coached in Durham, what happened?
Tough. North Carolina beat them.
You too, I see you in the chat. Think about Coach K and remember what color of blue was the winners the last time you seen Coach K coach.
Damn, Braxton Jalen.
Man, I mean, hey, Paulo should have stepped up that game. Paulo was standing in the corner in that semifinal Final Four game. Man, that still hurts. Coach K should have left with a title. What are you gonna do?
Yo, Damo, are you a North Carolina fan, or you like all the North Carolina schools? Like you a Tar Heels, strictly Tar Heels?
Fuck NC State. Fuck everybody else. It don't matter about none of y'all. For real. At least the basketball.
You remember that buzzer beater by UConn on you? You remember that buzzer beating 3?
You see how Duke do? They pull up other people's accomplishments to get on us. I got to talk about us to get on them. That's the difference. Class, people. Class.
Oh, wait, remember the Austin Rivers shot? You remember the Austin Rivers shot?
Jalen, just so you know, they won the national championship the next year after that buzzer beater. So just put that out there. I just want to put that on your mind.
Hey, speaking of Austin Rivers, that's another guy I was in on too. I'm like, coach's son. He was killing in high school. Went to and y'all, this is before Austin Rivers got to the league and wasn't good. In college, Austin Rivers was a bucket. I was like, okay, Austin Rivers is gonna be one of the premier shooting guards in the league.
Just didn't work.
Not really.
Didn't really happen. And especially when I knew it wasn't gonna happen was when he like was playing for his dad, and his dad was like, "Nah, we hit the bit, son." It's like, yo, if your dad not playing you, it's not gonna happen.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I would rather him be on the bench than be forced to play and end up looking like Killian Hayes, because that would have looked way worse in his career. Like, oh man, you didn't pan out nowhere else, but when you played for your dad, you started and you sucked. Yeah, get him out of here. Ni hao, buddy. Learn Chinese, because this is bad. So I'm glad he came off the bench and just knew his role.
All right, y'all. You see the title of the show: NBA Coach of the Year predictions. Plus, we're gonna do a Gregg Popovich versus Phil Jackson scenario. We'll get into that in a little bit, but as of right now, we got some super chat, so I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this. Appreciate everybody that's watching. If you are, slap that like button. If you haven't subscribed, slap that subscribe button. All right, chat, let's get into it. Unknown Me sent through a super chat and said, chill, do you agree that LBJ is a house Negro?
No, I do not agree with that.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's terrible to say something like that, but whatever.
You don't need to read all super chats.
Yeah, that ain't even necessary.
Taking stands,
right? But he a house nigga. Give me a break.
Crazy.
For Memo said, hey PC, been having a rough couple of days, but I must say, coming on the stream and seeing Damo makes it so much worse. Much love.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm sorry your day's been that bad. I'm glad I can't make it worse, and I hope tomorrow and the next day are even worse.
Damn. What are you doing, my man? I'm ruining your day. Good. Good. Take that.
Ladarius Munford said, Damo not lying. Been watching him for a while, including keeping it a buck days since he had 20K subs. He was all in on Russ, which is crazy for me.
Hey man, I was a big. Hey man,
it was hard not to be Damo. It was hard not to be all in on Russ.
I called him Goldbrook. That was my guy. He was the GOAT.
It wasn't. It was not hard to be all in on Russ.
That's why I go so hard on him now. I had too high of expectations.
Yeah. I was probably higher on Kevin Love than Westbrook in UCLA.
I wore 42 because of Kevin Love and James Worthy. But yeah, I wore 42 because of Kevin Love. That was my guy. I might be a milkman too. That's crazy.
I was waiting for you to come to that realization.
Organic milk.
I'm lucky. I'm thinking about it throughout my life. I also wore 33. I love Larry Bird. Hey man, I might be a milkman too. Ox, I'm on the boat.
You are a milkman.
Hey, you just stuck up for Psycho T? Oh no. Oh no.
Hey,
do I get the milkman allegation beat now?
Hey, I'm definitely a milkman when it comes to Tyler Hansbrough, at least in the UNC days. When he got to the league, But I was rooting for him on the Tar Heels. That was my guy.
But I remember people were Duke was always that team people made fun of. It's like the milkman team, or just the team filled with the white boys in college. That was a stigma for a while with Duke.
It still is. Cooper Flag is going there. It still is.
I mean,
has he committed, or you're just like he going there?
I want to say I've seen something say he was committed to Duke, unless it was a lie.
I don't think he's committed yet. It's between Duke and UConn, but I don't even think he's narrowed his list down. They're just saying that those are the top 2 teams. But Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, though.
He should just go to the G League.
Facts. He should just go to the Ignite. No cap.
I would go to the G League. I don't want to tell him what he should do.
It's still a chance, though. They might at the last minute he might see that money dangled in front of him and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go that route. Even though NIL he's gonna get money too, but
college money there too.
Reggie Red sent through the super chat and said, "Can you please dub a drug test? Can you please get Dub a drug test?" Last night he said prime Doc Rivers was better than 3rd-year Russell Westbrook. The fuck? Mars, were you there?
What Dub? Well, no, it was probably on his stream. I wasn't there. Dub, I'm highly doubtful Dub watched the late 80s, early 90s Atlanta Hawks. Highly doubtful. I'll say that. But maybe he did. But I believe possibly if you asked him who the coach was of those Hawks teams, he probably wouldn't know. So I'm just highly doubtful. But maybe I'm wrong. So I guess you have to ask him why he thinks that. I disagree. But you'd have to ask him why he thinks that.
It's the first time I've seen Doc Rivers come up as a player in any conversation.
A 3rd-year Russ?
Yeah.
It was 2011. That's when that was FIBA year. That was FIBA year.
No, absolutely not. I don't think so.
Keeping it pushing, Masink OG said, a guy who I thought was going to be trash was Michael Carter Williams. His first couple years, though, he looked like he was proving me wrong, and I became a fan just for him to end up being whack.
I think that he was also caught up in that quote-unquote what were they doing in Philly? They had no idea what they were doing in Philadelphia. I mean, they were tanking games. I mean, Drew Holiday was in and out of the lineup because, like, a lot of people forget that early in Drew Holiday's career, as good as he was being an all-star, he was injured a lot. So he stayed in and out of the lineup. Not really sure what they was doing. Not really sure what they was doing with Michael Carter Williams. I mean, he ended up being the rookie of the year. So it was obvious that there was some promise there. So it's kind of similar to the situation that Tariq Evans was in when he was in Sacramento with Boogie. I think they had 5 coaches in 6 years or some nonsense like that. They had no idea what they were doing. So, I mean, it's a combination of both of those two things. Michael Carter Williams maybe wasn't really working on his game as much, but Philadelphia managed him terribly. They had no idea what they were doing. None.
Toxic Key said, I was wrong about Drew Lavender. I was sold he was the best player in Ohio in 2003.
Better than James.
He sent through another super chat too. Can't find it, my friend. We'll get to it in a second. He said something alluding to he thought he might have just sent it in the chat. He said something like he thought Drew Lavender was going to be better than Chris Paul. Oh, here we go. He said, I was convinced Drew Lavender was going to be better than CP3.
I'm not too familiar with Drew Lavender.
I don't think that happened.
You muted, Damo, if you're talking.
I don't know who Drew Lavender is. That's crazy.
Me neither. I don't remember him. I just remember in 2003, James was the talk of the town. And I mean, he was the National Player of the Year. So, I mean, Drew Lavender, unfortunately, I don't know who that is.
I think that would go to show that he didn't reach what he should have reached.
Carmelo and James were the two at that time for sure.
Keeping it pushing, y'all. Drink More Water said, I was wrong about Ben McLemore and Thomas Robinson. I thought Ben would be the next Ray Allen and Robinson a poor man's Dennis Rodman.
I was wrong about Thomas Robinson too. I thought that he'd be a lot better.
I was big on him. I was big on Thomas Robinson. Not gonna lie.
I was big on Ben McLemore.
But does it count if you go to the Kings?
There were a lot
at that time.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
At that time,
I ain't gonna lie. I was high on Dante Green. I ain't gonna lie. From the Kings, I wish Ox was here. I was real high on Dante Green for no reason. I was a sucker for Because I was high on Perry Jones too. 6'11", that 6'10", 6'11" range.
Perry Jones.
Man.
I just knew Perry Jones was like, you got KD and Perry Jones out there? It's a wrap. There's no way.
I remember the Perry Jones type. Did he play at Oregon, was
He
it?
went to Oregon, yeah.
Oregon, that's what it was. Yeah.
He got to the Thunder. And I ain't
Perry
gonna lie,
Jones, no, he went to Baylor.
he went to
Baylor, the black.
Yeah, Green School. I get what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Baylor. But yeah, Perry Jones, I just knew, the Thunder get that lineup out there. You got Russ, you got Tabo, you got KD, you got Perry and Ibaka. Bro,
This is when James was still there too, right? Oh no, James had already left, huh? James might have still been there.
I think Perry might have got to the year after James left.
Okay, but yeah, no, I was right there with you. You know, I'm a Thunder fan. Like with them leaving from Seattle to Oklahoma City, I still had, I was still invested into the players, and so I was right there with you. But Perry Jones, though, he was a afterthought of like the Kevin Durant mold. Like once after KD came in the league and he started doing what he did, you started anybody with that type of mold, you were like, okay, next KD, next KD, he's the next KD, he's the next KD. Perry Jones was that perfect embodiment of, okay, this dude's about to be crazy. Nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't that crazy.
Wasn't that crazy at all.
Do?
But went overseas and started going crazy a little bit though. Shout out to you, Perry Jones.
John Lyons with the super chat said, what are your thoughts on Gil's statement saying the 90s was trash, especially on offense?
Which I really don't talk too much about it, but it burns me. And the reason why it burns me is because Gilbert Arenas had a 5-year stretch, 5 years, where he went 25-5 for 5 straight years. That's Damian Lillard today in a more wide open offense, right? So Gilbert Arenas, if you fast forward 20 years, his prime, he'll be 35 years out the league. There's going to be people 35, there's going to be people 20 years from now that are going to say that you was playing against Napster creators.
TikTokers.
That's who you was playing against. That's who you was doing what you was doing against. And for the record, Gilbert, and I hate addressing this, man, because this dude was a selfish basketball player. All he cared about was numbers and buckets. At the end of the day, he didn't care about nothing else but getting his. And ultimately, I'm going to say this last thing about him. Stockton would have ate your lunch.
Oh, man.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. I'll say it to his face. John Stockton would have ate your lunch.
I got to put on my Gilbert cape now. Obviously,
absolutely.
Trash strong word, but
John Stockton would have ate his lunch. Lafayette Fat Lever would have bust his ass.
I think Gilbert destroying John Stockton. I think Gilbert destroying.
I'm sick of this dude talking about the game like it was just and how awesome he was for that time and what they're gonna say about him 20 years from now. You just watch. I'm sick of this dude.
I stand with everything Chill said.
We're gonna talk about that on Open Gym after the show.
Reggie Red said, didn't 40-year-old John Stockton give Gil 26?
Oh no.
Did he? Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Makes sense.
I don't know.
Thickest Pilot 9 said, is Ox pulling up? I want to hear Chill talk about game 2. The Aces again with another great team win, blowing out the Liberty.
That guard play is the difference in the game, yo. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Aces, I think that overall they got a great team, but that guard play is the difference in the game. They're getting nothing from Vandersloot and Sabrina.
Well, Sabrina's being exposed. Sabrina's being exposed.
They're clearly getting outplayed on every level. They're clearly they're going to their big girl. I got to make sure.
Jonquel Jones.
That's hard. They go to her as much as they can, but Sabrina is giving them nothing. Vandersloot can't make a mid-range shot, and she can't slow down Plum. So they're being exposed on the
showing up too.
Stewie didn't look good yesterday.
She shot what, 6 for 17?
She did not look good yesterday. She didn't get on the backboard like that. Jacquel was the only one who really looks like she's keeping them in games. Their guard play has just been atrocious. They haven't been able to do anything. They got to shore that up when they get home. They have to. Otherwise, this series is over.
Yeah,
man. The Aces are just different.
Aces are so good. I don't get just Aja Wilson still different. Doing her thing in Asia.
I'm not even talking about Asia. Asia speaks for herself. I'm like, my thing is the team goes as Chelsea Gray goes. When if she gets 11 assists, you're not gonna beat them. Did you guys see the pass when she threaded the needle through, and it whizzed right by what's her name's head, straight to Asia Wilson. Did you guys see that?
Right, yes. She had the ball at the top of the key, and she looked Asia off, and that's poor defense fundamentally. So,
but yeah, when Chelsea Gray's picking your defense apart and just doing whatever she wants to, it's nothing you could do. Kelsey Plum gets whatever she wants. When she's hot like that, you're not beating him. And the cherry on top is when Jackie Young is going crazy like that. Yeah. When if Jackie Young gives you 20 plus, it's nothing you could do. Along with the others hooping, it's like you're done. Hey, speaking of which, though, passes, did you guys see that D'Angelo Russell pass last night?
Absolutely did.
D'Angelo Russell.
I'm glad you brought that up, Ron. Because to be honest with you, Damo, I like what I'm seeing. I know it's this is one of the first years that I'm paying more attention to the preseason, but I really like what I'm seeing. Sacramento did a different thing. They scrapped that drop coverage against DLo. So they started chasing them over the top of screens, and now he's finding guys. DLo I either thought that he couldn't pass or he wouldn't pass. It's obvious that he can pass. And can pass at a high level. So I will tell you this, Damo, I'm not sold on Wood being a second unit. The reason why I'm not sold on him, because he looked like a ball stopper. He looks like when he gets the ball, he's throwing the ball between his legs. He's not ripping and going to the basket. He's catching the ball, throwing it between his legs and slowing up the offense. I think that's going to be a problem. But getting Rui looks great in this offense and in transition. So I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
It looks great. With Wood, again, I said this game one. I like the game. I just don't like the energy he brings to the court. Like it just feels like, and you know what?
Like it's a job.
Listen, I didn't play pro basketball in Lithuania, so I'm not going to speak on the mental of an NBA player. But I'm just saying, from a fan's perspective, the guy looks like the energy's not there. Like he hasn't bought into the fact that you're playing for a title now. So that's just coming along. I feel like midway through the season that should be fixed, if anything. But I have him coming off. He has to come off the bench. With the second unit, I'm not gonna lie. I trust him. I don't mind him being a ball stopper with the second unit. I don't mind that at all. That absolutely fine. Let him get his. He could be a 6-man. If LeBron and AD are on the court, or even if you have LeBron with him, or he's paired with AD, I feel like that'll be fine. It's just the fact that if he's starting or playing key minutes, he can't be that guy. He has to adapt and play more of a team role. I will say we started the game with Gabe Vincent and D'Lo in the backcourt, and I was on here yesterday saying, "Look, I'm all for D'Lo being D'Lo. I just don't know what's gonna look like if you looking left and got Gabe and looking right and got Austin Reeves. Him and Gabe look pretty good. Now, him and Gabe look pretty decent back there. That was fine, but again, that was a 2-guard lineup, not a 3-guard lineup.
So Reeves came off the bench last night.
Reeves ain't play.
Okay.
Reeves, LeBron, and AD ain't play.
So Damo,
Vanderbilt didn't play neither.
You got the clipboard on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
You're the head coach. You got a lump on your head. What's the starting lineup, and who do you have coming off the bench in the rotation?
If I got a lump on my head,
no. You're you. Scratch the lump. You're Damo.
I'm not lump man. Okay, cool.
You get to construct the rotation however you want it. Who's the starting lineup, and how deep in the bench do you go? Who's the 6th man? Who's yada yada yada? What does it look like?
For me personally, I would say D'Lo Reeves. I would go honestly D'Lo Reeves, Bron, Rui, AD. That's my 5. That's my starting 5. That's the starting 5, and that's the 5 where if it's crunch time and we gotta win, that's probably the 5 I expect to see on the court, unless we seriously need defense. Then interchange, depending on the night, Rui and Reeves interchange them. No, fuck no. Sit him on the bench. Vanderbilt. I'd rather have Vando on the court to play defense and just live with whatever happens on offense. Defense wins championships. I don't give a damn. I got LeBron. I got AD. I got D'Lo. If D'Lo's playing like this, we're good. For the offensive end, I just need Vando for defense. But for the most part, D'Lo, Reeves, Bron, Rui, AD. Off the bench, Gabe Wood, Vando. I think we're gonna need Jackson Hayes to be like a prevalent. He has to play that Dwight and JaVale role.
Yep.
He has to play that role for us. So what's that? That's 9 deep on the bench.
No, that's 8. You just you said Jackson. That's 9. That's 9. Yeah.
No, Max Christie.
Situation.
I think he, to be honest with you, I think Max Christie might be one of the first guys off the bench.
Listen. That sounds great, and I believe in Max Christie. I just got to see it. I don't want to rush it because again, this isn't just okay. We're trying to go from play-in to playoff, or we're trying to build. No, we're trying to win a championship. So if Max Christie shows me within the first 2 months, and obviously give him minutes, I'm just saying the guys that need to come in my mind, that's my immediate rotation. And if he shows me he can play and he shows me he's doing well, again, if an injury happens or whatever it is, then Max Christie's the 10th guy. And that'd be my 10-man rotation. Everybody else playing the G League or be on standby if somebody gets hurt.
Torian Prince is their best.
Cam Reddish hate is crazy, but
it's not Cam Reddish hate. It's just who out of the lineup that I said coming off the bench or starting, who are we replacing Torian Prince or Cam Reddish for?
LeBron James, but that's besides the point. That's cool.
Okay.
I think in certain situations, Torian Prince will match up better than having D'Angelo Russell, like 3 guards instead of D'Angelo Russell.
I never said 3 guards. I never said 3 guards.
Okay. So you want to start? So maybe Rui,
DLo and Reeves, and then Gabe is going to come in and relieve one of their duties and they stagger. It's a bunch of staggering minutes for me. It's about staggering minutes and mix and matching. There should never be a situation. To me personally, there should never be a situation where we don't have either D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, Bron, or AD on the court. At all times, there's a situation that all 5 of those guys, not all 5, but one of those 5 guys should always be on the court for us. At all times. There's no reason why all 5 of those guys' asses should be on the bench next to me. If it is, we have a terrorist alert. Terrorist alert, red alert, something's going on. If all 5 of those guys are on the bench and it's not foul trouble and it's not injury, there should be no reason.
Or y'all blowing somebody out.
What if you guys are up 50? Just take
that's what I'm saying. Or y'all smoking somebody.
If we up, then cool. Pull
Christie in the game.
Warriors. Throw a J Hood out there. Throw the Maxwell Lewis. Throw them out there. I don't give a damn. Throw everybody out there. Sit everybody down. But in terms of it's a 15-point game, 10-point game, 5-point game, there's no reason throughout the game one of those 5 guys should not be on the court. At all times, one of those 5 should be on the court. At all times.
Yo, Damo. You know who played pretty good last night? And I was watching.
Don't say it.
Did he play good, Damo?
Don't say it.
He was knocking down open threes. He made a couple. He made a contested mid range. Got an and one. I mean, he was rebounding. He was playing defense.
Oh, we talking about Torian Prince?
Yeah, Torian got down last night.
Yeah, but he goes shoot about 37%.
I think he started. It was him, Gabe, and DLo.
He did.
I think they started. That was the lineup. Which Damo hates, by the way. Get all 3 of them off the floor.
Listen. He can play as good as he wants all year. I'm not giving him credit until we win. Because the moment I start believing is the moment he knows I believe, and he starts playing like a terrorist. So I'm not going to start believing. So I don't care. The only way he proved me wrong is if he pulls a KCP in 2020. Because I was the same way with KCP. I got the footage of me house arrest basketball. I hated him. When he was out there with an ankle monitor on for us, I hated him. So until he proved me wrong by stepping it up in the playoffs, playing big in pivotal games in 2020, and I'm like, all right, I'm giving you respect because you balled out. You weren't a terrorist when we needed you most. I love you, KCP. And since then, I'm all for him. But you got to prove me wrong. And playing good on a random Wednesday in November is not about to do it. Playing good on the back-to-back or what regular season playing good, I don't give a damn about that because I want one of these. So that playing good shit in the preseason and regular season, it don't matter. Torian Prince has to play good in the playoffs, and his ass better be consistent in the finals. Then you'll get the recognition from me. I'm like ticket with that shit. Nigga, you got to win. I'm not saying nothing until you win. Until then, you're a terrorist.
I could see him playing a big role against Denver in the playoff series. I think he's probably matchup based defensively. Good for MPJ. Good for Aaron Gordon.
I watched him on a play it was in the first half. I watched him on a play get beat back though, and he was completely out of the play. And I'm thinking to myself, when you playing in the regular season and in playoffs, when you playing against teams like Golden State, when you playing against teams like Denver, that's not going to last long. You're not going to be on the floor long, getting lost on defense like that. You're not going to be on the floor long. It's not going to happen.
Keeping it pushing, y'all. Julius Irvin said, people believe Curry's career started in 15, but he's been a dog since a rookie. Very underrated rookie year. Check his numbers the second half of the season.
Oh, no. Curry's definitely been – people just negate everything before 2015. I really got hip on Curry in 2013. That's when I was living – that's when I lived in Sac and was in the Bay all the time. And I was like, yo, who is this light-skinned nigga on all these billboards? What is this? And I was woken up real quick.
His first few years was just ankle problems, right? And in 2015 is when I guess he still.
But he still played a lot. It wasn't like
the year that he had major ankle problems. I believe
he still played
2011.
Yeah,
2011, I believe,
like
was the year
70-some
that he
games.
was majorly hurt. But every other year, like he was in and around the team quite often. 2011, I think he played like 15 games. I was like, okay, yeah, that was a bad year. Other than that, I mean.
He started off 80 games his first year, 74 second year, then ankle problems the 2011-2012 season with 26. And ever since then, well, not ever since then, but from 13 to 17, he played no less than 78 games. Then 18 to 19.
When did Monte Ellis leave that team?
When they got cut
when they 12, right?
12, right? It was 12. It was at the end of the 11-12 season when they got
the Bogut trade. Yeah. That should have been Steph to the Bucks, and they would have got Giannis.
Which is crazy. They was about to move off Steph. Steph was, I think he finished second in Rookie of the Year votes. But the question was, that's how they got him on the cheap, because they wasn't really sure about physically if he was going to be able to hold up.
And that's
even though he was still
even
though he was on the floor, they just weren't sure if physically he could hold up. And, he still was playing good. He just didn't become elite until 13, 14. That's when he started to become elite.
I think he accepted that 4-year, $44 million deal because of the injury kind of situation.
It was the going rate for most guards. Drew Holiday signed that same contract, I'm pretty sure.
I thought he left
4 years, 44 was around the same as like most guards from his class were getting.
Unless when he signed it, when he signed it, I don't think people were like, oh, man, they got Steph on a discount deal. I think it was probably adequate. And this is me saying I think. I don't remember this exact conversation. But obviously, as he started progressing and got better, that's when people started saying, okay, this dude is balling. Golden State, they got a discount with Steph.
Yeah.
And it was also a transition too, B, because the big man was getting phased out, and the way Steph played and the way the Warriors played, that was getting louder, and people still weren't on board with the way the Golden State Warriors was playing. Like, jump shooting teams can't win the NBA championship. I mean, I won't lie, I wasn't sure that it could happen. I was not. But
how did you feel about that at that time? Like, what were the words that Chilltown was saying?
He stood with Charles Barkley.
I didn't stand with Charles Barkley, but I wasn't sure that a jump shooting team could win the NBA championship. I still thought that the big man was viable. I wasn't ready to let the big man go, the traditional big man. But it was obvious that the game was turning the other way, right? It was obvious that the game was turning the other way, and it was becoming more athletic on the wing. And that's what teams were being built around, guys like KD, James, and guys like that. And I just didn't think a team that shot the long ball primarily could win it. Obviously, I was wrong.
I'll take.
Keeping it pushing, fellas. Janitorial Jargon said, what's up, panel? Hope everyone is doing good. Keep up the good work, guys. Big ups from Phoenix, Arizona.
Appreciate it. Shout out.
Very kind.
Thickest Pilot 9 says, shout out to Young, Gray, Plum, and Asia Wilson. I'll be watching the WNBA more regularly after this finals. I'm a fan. The ladies are putting in work. Love to see it.
Them chicks is for real, yo. They are dead serious.
I will say, though, Game 1, WNBA, don't ever put Game 1 at WNBA Finals during football Sundays. That's just the worst business decision you can ever do.
That was terrible.
That's terrible. How you gonna
at 2:30 in the afternoon?
That was bad.
Everyone's watching the NFL. We know this. Like, come on, just move the game.
Yo.
Move the game. Yeah, that's crazy.
What are you doing?
Drink More Water said, which primarily college coach would you have as the best translation to the NBA? Also, what do LeBron, Kobe, and KG average in college if they play?
Nothing. Well, I'll start with the second part of that question. Nothing, because there's certain dudes that they don't need to go to school because school is a waste of time for them. And James, Bryant, KG, that college would have been a waste of time for them dudes. They didn't need to go to school. So there would have been no reason for them dudes to go to college. Now, in terms of college coaches, I mean, it's a little looser today and the game is younger. So I think Calipari would be good in the game today because the game is still young and so young and how fast and wide open he plays. So I think he'd be a good college. I think he'd be a good pro coach today.
How good was he in the 90s?
They went to the playoffs.
The
New Jersey Nets.
I've never been too impressed with Calipari's coaching. I always thought like when he was at his run in Kentucky, he was just out recruiting everyone. Like I've never like looked at a Calipari team and said these guys are playing amazing basketball. You know, it just seems like they out talented people, especially in college.
They did
not. I remember he got Scal Labissiere, who was like the -- prospect in high school, and just put him on the bench. Like just barely played him. He was playing like 10 minutes a game. I was like,
I don't like how Calipari, at least for college coaches, I don't know much about his pro coaching resume. His college coaching, I hate how he coaches big men. Because if you have a system in terms of you want your big to play a certain way, you get guys that play that way. I don't understand.
Recruit the best big in the country and make him play. I think that's what messed up Scal Labissiere. Maybe he didn't have the motor and he wasn't built that way mentally. But he's being asked to be just a rim protector, run to the rim, and like he's a finesse big. Like you want him out there, pick and pop, set screens, 18-foot jump shots, post game. He's just not being asked to do that. And then now he's playing 10 minutes a game because he's not the big you want. But you knew what he was when you recruited him because he was the best player in the country.
And then you look, and I could say I could be more lenient and say, yeah, he's getting away with this in 2005 and 6 because the game was still predicated to bigs playing like big men. But doing this to guys in college in 2014, 15, 16, and 17, when we're seeing a change in how the NBA is played, and you're known as the one-and-done school that's getting guys to the league, it just seemed detrimental to take guys that have league-bound expectations who are coming here for 1 year to go to the league, and you're like, all right, Cat, everything you're good at, and I'm so glad they have the individual workouts and they got the combine so guys can still showcase their skills. Because a guy like Cat, bro, if he had to stay 2-3 years, Cat's stock would have been lowered because he would have had to just play like a rim running big. He wouldn't have been able to showcase his strength. I did not know Cat could shoot the ball until he got to the league because they played the Lakers open at night, and I'm like, all right, bet we got this. We got the second best big on Kentucky. All right, bet we got this. And he came out there hezzy tweening, pulling threes. I'm like, what the? This is not the same Carl. What did Carl do this summer? This ain't the Carl I just seen at Kentucky. This is crazy. So that's the one thing I don't like about Kyle. Now, everybody else, I feel like he coaches guards well, forwards well, everything else. But when it comes to bigs, I've laid off a college ball now, so I don't know if he's still doing that. So if he's not doing that no more, cool. But at that time when I was paying attention to college ball, I hated how he coached big men.
The coach that really impressed me in college the most, I mean, other than Coach K, big Duke guy, was Tom Izzo. Tom Izzo was a guy who, especially in the NCAA tournament, he would beat teams who were ranked higher than him, but the adjustments he made, he understood the other team's weaknesses, where to attack them, and he'd make those adjustments with the guys he had. So that's a guy who I'd always thought, would do really well in the NBA.
I'll say Mark Few as well. I think Mark Few would be a great NBA coach. The reason why, with him and John Calipari, I don't know if John Calipari be a good NBA coach because how harsh he is in the way he coaches. NBA players, they're not gonna. You can't really, you can't cuss an NBA player out and tell him, it's certain ways that you have to talk to grown men. He coaches like college kids, so you can coach a little differently. In the league, it's like, dude, I'm making $30 million this year, bro. You can't talk to me like that. I'm gonna get you out of here. The Trae Young treatment. With guys like Mark Few, Tom Izzo, they're a little more personable. So I think they'll be able to translate into the NBA game and still be able to resonate with the guys. They'll be able to talk to them in a way where it's like, okay, I'm taking your coaching criticism, and now I can go, translate that on the floor. So I think Mark Few will be a good guy, and then just kind of how Jalen said, Tom Izzo.
I dig Mark Few too. Mark Few's a good coach. Yeah, I think he'd be good at the pro level, especially considering how young the league is. Yeah, I think he'd be a good coach at the pro level. But he's like a tick on your skin. He is dug deep into college basketball. He ain't going nowhere. Mark Few is definitely he ain't leaving Gonzaga. He's gonna retire up there.
The fact that Coach K never came to the NBA too is wild to think about now.
I don't think so. I think some coaches know they're college coaches and they want to be on the college level. And I think Coach K was just one of those guys. He wanted NBA experience. Hey man, I do that shit in the summertime with the Olympics when it's not that much pressure for real. Which I mean, it's still pressure because if you don't win, they look at you like you're crazy. So it was pressure, but it's nothing like going from college coach to NBA coach pressure. And Chad, y'all going at it about if LeBron played in college. Oh yeah, man, he would have learned
greatest college basketball player ever.
Not even that. Oh, he would have learned how to be in the system rather than be the system. But it depends on what school he goes to. Tell me what the system was for Ohio State when LeBron in 2003. 2003. Like what was Ohio State doing? Because that's where he would have went. And we can act like it's what you call it. It's situations like Trae Young where you go to a college that just lets you be you. Because Tracy, that's why he went to Oklahoma. He went to a school like Oklahoma instead of one of the big programs. He went to Oklahoma. That's why Colin Sexton went to Alabama because it wasn't too much of play in the system. It's still let me be me and have my game. And I'm pretty sure LeBron would have just did that. I don't think LeBron goes to Duke or UNC or somewhere with a super heavy imprint with their coach. He's going to go somewhere where it's like, all right, coach, I'm LeBron James. Let me be LeBron James.
I think he respected Coach K enough to play within whatever system. Like I think LeBron would play within a system, especially at that young age, coming from a legendary coach. Would have listened and figured it out.
Julius Irvin with the super chat said Rivers didn't suck. He had a really good playoff series when he was forced to step up due to injuries. Just forgot the year. LOL.
I guess.
Did anybody say he sucked? Does anybody think Austin Rivers sucked? Because I don't think he sucked. I don't think he was bad.
Just, I guess his expectation being the number one rated high school player.
It was probably 2016, probably. Because I think that's the year Chris Paul was out.
I would say compared to the field,
better than Killian Hayes?
I think he sucked compared to the field. Compared to other NBA players on that level, I think he sucked. Based off what his expectations was with his mixtape and what motherfuckers my age and younger or a little bit older that was watching the mixtape of Austin Rivers. Yeah, that's crazy. But what you call it? Thinking about that, like, yeah, I would have to say you suck if you had that high of expectations and it didn't pan out. Now maybe we just gave you the wrong expectation. Maybe we just put our eggs in the wrong basket. But people expected him to be this great player in the NBA. Hell, I think. Oh, I know you hate him, but I want to say Gilbert Arenas was talking about him. Guys like him and Brandon Jennings, like that mixtape era when they came into the league, he was like, yo. The league was worried about them dudes for a little bit. Like, yo, this shit look kind of crazy how these guys is looking, but then it don't pan out. And it's like, all right, well, we work for nothing.
Well, now I want to Google Austin Reeves high school mixtape, if that's a thing.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No, Austin Reeves? No.
Oh, Austin Reeves? Oh, you never
Rivers. I've seen Austin Rivers, obviously. Yeah, I've never seen Austin Reeves high school mixtape.
Go watch that. It's a good watch.
Okay.
It's a good watch.
We'll take a look.
All right, y'all, keeping it pushing on these super chats. We got one from Eddie Wilson. He said it's a good and a bad thing not to have ticket. You miss having somebody to laugh at for bad takes, but you can also enjoy hearing smart basketball talk.
Bring Ticket
back. Yeah, Eddie, Ticket got smart basketball talk.
Ticket was on Dubstream yesterday, so if you missed,
defender in the 90s, made some good points.
Go watch Dubstream. W plug.
Robert Carr says, does Carmelo's game remind y'all of Big Dog Glenn Robinson? Melo more athletic?
No. Big Dog was actually a more athletic version of Glenn Rice. That's who his game reminded me of. He was a bucket getter. Carmelo did a little bit more than Glenn Rice, but I think he was more athletic, but I don't think he played on the block more. Glenn Robinson was a perimeter guy. He was a bucket getter, but he didn't really play on the box that much. He played on the block, but he didn't play on the block as much as Carmelo did. So if I'm thinking about a guy that I compare Glenn Big Dog Robinson to, he was more of a Glenn. His game reminded me more of Glenn Rice than it does Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo's college year gets so overlooked. That's an all-time great year.
He was the best player in the country.
100%. As a freshman,
he was the best player in the country.
100%.
And there was a lot of good players in the country that year. He was the best player in the country. He was the best player in the tournament, including Dwayne Wade, who was awesome in that tournament. But Carmelo Anthony was the best player in the country.
Drink More Water says, speaking of players that you were wrong about, which bust from the year 2014 and before would have been better if they played in today's game?
From the 14 drive.
And before.
That's the Wiggins draft, correct?
Yeah, he said 2014 and before, but let's say from 2009 to 2014.
Well, from the 14 draft, that will be better now versus then. I think
Jabari Parker would be awesome today.
Mm-hmm.
Are we assuming guys stay healthy? Just assume health?
I think you have to.
Okay.
Yep,
So
he
if
has
that's
to
the
do.
case, then I would say Jabari. I would say
I think Peyton would be a lot better today. I know Elfin Payton. I know it sounds crazy, but Elfin Payton, he did have a really good transition game. So I think that he would be a lot better today. If think campaign set the better scorer.
Is he not still in the league somewhere, or is he completely
Elfin
out?
Payton?
Yeah,
I don't think he's around anymore.
He was on the Knicks last I remember.
Yeah,
I think
last I remember he was.
I think Shabazz Napier in today's game, if he's drafted today with that same resume of being a tenured college player, more guard driven now than it was then. It was like on the cusp of switching back then. Now it's like you can have a guard that wants to score and everything like that. I feel like Shabazz would be cool. Personally, and maybe I'm just being biased, but hey, man, give PJ Harrison another shot. I feel like he'll be all right, man. Shout out PJ Harrison, Carolina alumni. PJ Harrison gets another shot. I feel like he'll be a lot better than he was before. I'm looking at the second round. Damn, Dwight Powell is a second round pick. See the expectations.
I'm a little bit biased too, Damo, because I dug Rodney Hood. I did. I did. When I saw him in Utah, I dug Rodney Hood. I thought that he could. I thought that he could be something serious.
I'm with you. I was a Rodney Hood. I was a Rodney Hood believer, but then I think he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, he did.
I was a Rodney Hood believer for sure. Like 2017, like around that year. Yeah, I was a Rodney Hood believer. 2016.
Yep. KJ McDaniels. Get KJ back in the league, man. He'll be
crazy
great.
athlete. Hey man, give Evan Turner the keys, man. That's Ben Simmons before Ben Simmons. But
this second round is crazy. I'm seeing some names in the second round. It's kind of like, damn.
Hey, I'm looking at this 2011 draft. It's a couple people. I think Brandon Knight will be a whole lot better in this era. Kemba Walker, I mean, he even balled out too, but I think he does even more in this era as well. Another guy, and it's crazy because I had actually just seen him talk about how he was before his time. Jimmer Fredette. I think Jimmer Fredette.
Wait, but he has a chance to be here, though. He has a chance.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. Jimmer Fredette cooked. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, like I was never on the Jimmer Fredette train, even in college.
On guards, anything.
Yeah, he can. He's terrible. He can shoot the ball. He can score.
You don't think he's a 6 man? You don't.
I don't think on any team that's trying to do anything, he wouldn't get on the floor. He's that bad defensively that if the moment you get into a playoff series, guess what? Jimmy Fredette's on the floor, you're cooked.
He's not even that
can't
old.
do anything. He can shoot, elite shooter. Not dynamic as a shooter, but he's not athletic enough to create his own shot on the NBA level. And then defensively, he's cooked. So what do you have? You have a stationary shooter who's not as tall as Duncan Robinson.
The past 4 years, he's had a chance to be in the league, and no team wanted him for a reason.
Yeah. I'm looking at the 2010 draft class. A couple names in here. Al Farouk Aminu today, defensive god. Love Al Farouk. I would say Larry Sanders today. I feel like Larry Sanders would get a lot more love today than he did back then.
Considering skunk is legal today because he was a weedhead. That was the biggest problem. He was a weedhead. So the fact that I could get it, I don't have to hide it no more. Look, I got a prescription. I'm good.
I will say in this second round, I would say Hassan Whiteside. I would say Balenciaga, aka Bilalita. He's drafted higher. He's drafted today. He will receive more of a chance.
He just retired, Damo.
That's crazy. That 2015 EuroLeague MVP. That's crazy. Lance Stevenson. I feel like Lance. He's drafted today. He gets a lot more freedom to be himself. You got all these. Dylan Brooks and all these crazy personalities. Bro, Lance would be able to get his antics off and do his thing and have his fun. And sneaky pick, Devin Ebanks, man. Devin Ebanks drafted today. Yeah. Devin Ebanks, man. He was on one of them tanking LA teams. He's drafted today. He might get a bit of a better shot, in my opinion.
I want to go back a little bit. I think Hedo Turkoglu would have done really well in today's league.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
would have been.
What about Kirilenko?
I mean, Kirilenko. We talking all-star. We talking triple doubles here and there, quadruple. Kirilenko today.
Hey, Kirilenko, he'll be like a point four.
Quadruple doubles.
10 blocks, 10
Easy.
points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists.
Easy, Jalen.
Yeah, but
Easy.
in today's era,
Hey, Jalen, maybe 10 steals. You never
10
know.
steals.
Ron, don't.
Stack it up.
All right, okay, all right. He would be one of the better all-around players in the league, though.
The 2008 draft, orange juice mayonnaise, man. OJ Mayo. I feel like
orange juice mayonnaise.
Orange juice mayonnaise, man. My guy would have got a lot better shot. He'd have got a better shot and would have. Honestly, any guard that's below like 6'5" that was really offensive heavy today, they would have got a better shot.
Let Dion Waiters cook, man. Let Dion Waiters cook.
A lot of them would have got a chance to actually cook today. So yeah, respect orange juice mayonnaise, man.
By the way, craziest stat lines we were talking about it yesterday. I forgot. Draymond Green getting a triple double without points. That's crazy.
Pretty impressive. Yeah.
No, that was one. Yeah, that was one that I forgot, and he reminded me when he started talking about Andre Kirilenko quadruple doubles.
What about Tony Snell? I think Tony Snell had a game where he had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 blocks, and 0 assists. And I think he played something like 25 minutes or something.
He's running wind sprints. He was just running wind sprints out there.
He was just out there.
Right there. He was
just out there. That's it. He didn't do nothing. He was just out
there. Joel Anthony has games like that as well, I believe, on the Heat, where he was just 0-0
out there. Hey, 55 screens though. Did they count screens?
Exactly.
All-time screens.
It's a little thing.
B+ teammate grade.
You can't just be out here and not do anything. Like, okay, you're screening. You're not going to rebound. You're not going to get a block.
Hey, he's doing
boxing out for his teammates.
Steven Adams.
Yeah, he's boxing out. He's boxing out for his teammates.
LeBron can get the board.
I can show you how to block out all day long. At some point, stick your nose in there and go get the basketball. Stop.
Nah, man, Bron got it. I'm just clearing the
lane. He knows get it. If LeBron gets the rebound, speeds up the transition. So all he has to do is box out, let LeBron get it. High IQ basketball.
If he speeds up the transition, if he's speeding up the transition, Mars, wouldn't that mean that with LeBron getting it, I would get out in the lane and run so I can get an easy bucket?
No.
Yeah, but he's not supposed to Dwayne Wade. It is what it is. He's not supposed to Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh can do that. I just got to make sure Bron gets the ball.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the problem with you stat nerds today. Because you get 0 in a stat doesn't mean you're not helping the team contribute. Joel Anthony was helping the Heat get rebounds, even if he's not getting the rebound. Joel Anthony was helping the team score, even if he wasn't scoring. Him setting those screens, letting Dwayne Wade get open in the mid-range. That's Joel Anthony's impact right there. You guys just don't respect the game enough to look beyond the box score, man.
Come on, man.
Disappoints me. You guys don't love
That's where the eye test comes in. See, you got to really watch the game.
Exactly. You got to watch these games to understand.
Tony Snell, the eye test all-star.
That's the problem, man. You guys don't respect the eye test. You just see the box score and say, "Oh, this guy's not that good."
Joel Anthony, not Tony Snell. Tony Snell was. I watched the games. He was just doing laps. He was doing sprints.
Yeah, Tony Snell's different.
Hey man, shout out to that man for getting paid to get some cardio in.
Facts.
Cardio is important.
Moving along, fellas, we got a super chat from Najee Americano. Said, y'all seen the Miles Bridges news? Hornets fans are going through it right
now. Can we get some hold on, right? Can we get some context with this, please? Can we please just get some context with this? Don't make it sound like, yo, just yesterday the dude smashed his chick's windshield. Yeah. Okay, this was back in January. Way before he had already this was even before he had copped the plea deal and any of this stuff. So this happened way before. This isn't something that just happened yesterday. So let's chill out on like the dude still wow, because he's not like that. He's not.
It's the warrant is from like the warrant just came up because apparently he violated some like it's not a what's the fucking word for it, man? It's like you gotta stay a certain amount.
He had a restraint. The chick had a restraining order against him, right? And again, this was from January of earlier this year. This wasn't like this was from a week ago where he violated it. This was from January, man. Come on, yo.
No one's defending domestic violence. What I'm saying is what he has a warrant for isn't something new. All it was is he has a warrant because of the restraining order. It was deemed a restraining order violation. Now, I don't know what it was. Now, if you're about to tell
months ago.
Now, if you're about to tell me, he violated the restraining order to go punch her in the face yesterday, then, hey, gang, we got it. But I didn't see nothing like that. All I seen from the reports was it is nothing new. It is nothing different. It is something prior, and all it is a violation of the restraining order. That is it.
Robert Carr sent through a super chat and says, "Does Draymond Green look kind of like Mason of the Knicks play style a little bit?"
No.
Anthony Mason.
He just saying that because they both black as hell.
Yep, big black guys, crazy.
Rest in peace, Anthony Mason.
Yeah.
My mom was a big Anthony Mason fan. Only reason I know him.
Oh, I didn't mean to put this on the screen, but one buddy said, but he wanted Lil Mikey to go to jail.
No, this is what this dude does. What he does is he twists words. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, Damo, we were talking about the gun charge for Mikey Williams. 6 gun charges where he had some people at his house and guns went off. Right? That's what we said. And I said, from what I'm seeing, he's going to jail. This dude turns around and said, wishing jail on somebody. He wants him to go to jail. I'm 100% confident sitting up here with you dudes that at no point did I say, I want to see this dude in jail. Lock him under the jail. At no point did I say that. But this is the kind of logic that this dude has. He never has any basketball logic. He never has anything legit to say when it actually comes to basketball. What he has all day long is insults. That's it. And it just gets compounded by comments like this. So when I don't address it, and the reason why I don't address it, because it doesn't make any sense to address it. I told y'all yesterday. The only reason why y'all familiar with this dude is because I shouted his name out. That's it. That's the only reason why.
Chill. My apologies. I promise you. Like, y'all know I'm an instigator. Y'all been watching the panel long enough to know I push buttons. I'm an instigator. I swear that was 100% fate. And that's how I know this whole Chill versus Buddy OG thing. It's just meant to be Chill. I don't know. Like, I randomly click the button and that's what pops up. My bad. I'm sorry. Shout out Buddy OG. But anyways, y'all ready to get into these coaches?
Let's do it.
Y'all ready to do this? All right. So first, I want to go top 10 coaches. I want to figure out who is the top 10 coaches between us, and then I want to sort those coaches out 1 through 10, and then after that, later on in the show, we'll get you guys Coach of the Year predictions for this year. But as of right now, let me go ahead and share this on the screen. We got 10 coaches to choose from. Who are the 10 right now that are the best coaches in the league?
So we start with Gregg Popovich, Eric Spoelstra, and they clear to
Just
get the easy ones out the way.
Just throwing Gregg Popovich in there, I guess. All right, cool.
Yeah.
We just throwing them up there for what?
Legacy.
Legacy. Yeah, he can win 20 games.
Kind of like Kawhi Leonard as a defender, off reputation. Yep. That's it.
Yep.
Wait, so is this based off of just last season and going into this year, or are we considering legacy? Which I don't think we should, but are we?
I think we go today, Damo, in the 22-23 season, coming into this season, who are the 10 best coaches in the game?
I'm still thinking Popovich over everyone.
I don't know why.
He's still the best coach.
So you don't think Popovich should be on this list, Damo? It's a conglomerate list.
I don't think based off of last season and going into this year, I don't know what we're saying Pop is a good coach for if we're about to say from stuff from 10 years ago. You're about to tell me from 10 years ago, 8 years ago, why Pop is a great coach. Like, we
don't do that with players. Like over the last 3 years, what has Gregg Popovich shown you to suggest that he's still a top 10 coach?
Not to say that sound like Rashad McCants.
Not to say no. Whoa.
Sounds like to me.
We're not doing that. We are not doing that.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach.
We are not doing that.
He's not a good coach.
No.
I'm just saying if there's a top 10 coaches.
Right. We're talking about the 10 best coaches in the game.
I'm just not understanding why for all these other coaches we're about to use at the very least a 3-year sample size. But for Pop, we're about to say, yeah, for Pop, I understand his team is tanking. So let's reach all the way back to when they were in the finals against LeBron and them. And that's why he's a great coach. Let's reach all the way back to 04, 05. That's why he's a good coach. Like,
no, he's still a great coach, Damo. The question is he still a top 10 coach today? We do the same thing with players. Like, we can't say that a player is over the last 3 years. We can't, because he was a top 10 player for 6 or 7 years. But because he was a top 10 player for 6 or 7 years, over the last 3 years, he's been like a borderline top 15 player. But because he was awesome over the last 6 or 7 years, he's still a top 10 player. Well, wait a minute. Are we sure about that? So that's not to say Gregg Popovich isn't still a great coach. Is Gregg Popovich today in the 2023-24 season, is he still a top 10 coach? Are there 10 coaches in the game today better than him?
I think you give every coach, if you give every coach the same team with the same players, I think Gregg Popovich finds a way to maximize that team the most out of anybody. Maybe Spoelstra, but other than those two, I think those two.
Popovich ran the Jonkie Curry out of town, man. He's overrated.
I just don't think there's 10 better than him. That's what I'm saying. Whether or not he's 1 or 2, cool. I don't care. He's in the top 10.
All right, so
I throw Steve Kerr in there, top 10.
Terrorist.
All right, so look, I'm gonna start naming names. You guys let me know. We're just gonna start narrowing them down. So Gregg Popovich is on the list right now. I'm gonna just put him on there.
How about we do this, Ron? How about we start from 10 and then we'll move up, and then by the time we get to 1, we can switch names. How about that? But let's just
that's what I'm saying. We got to narrow the 10 down first.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta find 10.
Okay.
So I'm assuming Steve.
So today, how about I do this, Ron? Damo, today, is Gregg Popovich a better coach than Mike Brown?
Yeah.
Okay, so because I'm putting Mike Brown in that
he might be top 10. Now I'm trying to think
that bottom half. So we're gonna go. So let's put Mike Brown on the list.
Mike Brown's on there.
Okay, so let's see, Damo. Is he a better coach than Nick Nurse?
I mean, I would say no.
Nick Nurse is on the list, though. Nick Nurse is definitely
on
the
list. I'm putting Nick Nurse on the list.
But I think Nick Nurse should be on the list.
Is he a better coach than Bickerstaff today?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
When are we going to Ime Udoka, please?
I'm questioning Bickerstaff.
I'm gonna say Ime was gonna be. Ime was in my top 3.
I'm like I said, I'm going from here to here. That's where I was going. So I said Mike Brown.
I just need Ime
Udoka.
Udoka.
I said Mike Brown. I said Bickerstaff. Who else did I say?
Those
Nick
are
Nurse.
Oh, Nick
Tom
Nurse.
Thibodeau has
Nurse.
to be the 10. Tom Thibodeau
And Nick Nurse.
Is he?
You'll be surprised, man. I'm like, from my knowledge of the league, I mean, there's coaches who because a lot of people, when we judge coaches, this team's winning, so that coach went there's people coaching fringe playoff teams who I think are better coaches than teams coaching good teams.
That's fair, 100%. No,
once we start talking about Willie Green, I'm gonna be like, yeah, Willie Green's a top 10 coach. But
all right, look, fellas, look. I'm running down all the coaches. If 2 of you guys agree, I'm putting them on the list, and then we'll narrow it down from there. All right. I'm assuming everybody agrees Steve Kerr.
Yep.
Yes. He's top 10.
All right, so right now we got Gregg Popovich, Eric Spoelstra, Mike Brown, Nick Nurse, Steve Kerr on the list.
And Udoka too.
Udoka? Okay.
Yeah, Udoka too.
I don't know why you trying to hate.
Matter of fact, before you try to hate some more, throw Monty on there. Because Monty.
I was going to have him on there too, man. Third time
I was going to ask.
Not what he did last time.
Oh, man, here y'all go.
Because Mars said that there's fringe playoff teams and coaches coaching teams that are basically contenders. Is Monty Williams a better coach than Coach Bud?
Well, Bud's not in the league no more. So.
Okay, so rewind the clock.
I think Rick Carlisle.
Yes, he was bad. He was bad than Bud. Yes, but he's not in the league no more.
I think Rick
I'm
Carlisle.
not gonna lie. Top 10 is difficult because once we start getting to Mark Daigneault, I'm gonna be saying he's top 10, and we're gonna.
Are we just gonna have to do all the 30 coaches?
Yeah,
all
right. We have to. There's too many.
Here we go.
Yes,
hey, now I'm pulling this back up. This is the power rankings from yesterday, but we got to scratch it.
This is yes
coaches.
No. So when you bring these coaches out, yes. How about you do this, Ron? You run down all the teams, and you say, "Is this dude a top 10 coach? Yes or no?"
But until
it's going to be like
coaches, we're not going to know. That might be the coach who's the 13th best coach, and then we really narrow it down.
Exactly.
Maybe he is 10. Maybe we can't unless we see it all in a list and then we organize it. We won't have a legit top 10.
Okay. So who's the worst coach in the game today? Number 30 at the bottom of the list. Who is the worst coach in the game today?
I think Steve Clifford.
I think in the realm of being fair, I think the worst coach until they've shown they can coach in the NBA has to be the only coach who hasn't coached in the NBA.
Chauncey Billups.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be Adrian Griffin, Darko, whatever the Toronto coach's name is. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. Adrian Griffin, the Toronto coach. And
so by default, Adrian Griffin is at the bottom because you never coached.
By default, because they haven't coached in the NBA. Not saying they're going to be bad.
You at the bottom.
I'm saying by default, I think that's probably what makes.
So basically, like a rookie. Okay, I can get with that logic. So basically, like a rookie. Okay,
so we'll go Darko. Jalen, do you know your coach's name? Darko. whatever.
The head coach to the
Darko Rajakovic. Something like Rajakovic.
Yeah, him and Adrian Griffin, I think, should be at the bottom.
Okay, so we'll have those two dudes at the bottom.
Yes. Now after that, sure, if you want to go put Darvin Ham, I guess.
And what two coaches were these at the bottom?
Adrian,
the head coach of Milwaukee, because he never coached.
Darko Rajakovic
from Toronto.
Yeah, there we go. Those two are at the bottom. Now after that,
I think Steve Clifford's pretty bad. Chauncey Billups is pretty. They still have to prove it.
Steve Clifford, yeah, I don't mind Steve Clifford being down here.
Anybody saying I'm crazy for Darvin Ham, give me an argument for why he shouldn't be at the bottom.
Conference finals, buddy, you're cooked.
That's caring about the players.
We're done with that. We're done with that, Damo. He took a team to the conference finals in his first year, and it wasn't solely off talent.
Okay, no, was David Blatt a good coach? Was David Blatt a good coach?
Yes, David Blatt was a good coach.
I thought David Blatt.
Yes, he was a good coach. I don't know if you noticed, Damo, but the year after they lost in the NBA Finals, the next year they were in first place when he got fired, and it wasn't just because of talent. They were 30-11.
When they got a new coach, did they drop from first place?
I think they finished second that year.
So David Blatt has a championship ring if Kyrie stays healthy. David Blatt has a ring.
Respect David Blatt, man. I didn't know.
Yeah, it sounds like Domo just kind of hating on all of LeBron James coaches.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
No, I'm
not making it on LeBron topic. I'm just saying the coincidence that this is happening.
Because Frank Vogel's top 10 to me.
I got love. Me too. I got love.
Frank Vogel's top 10 to me, and that's
so it's more milkman behavior. Okay.
But Frank Vogel, milk.
No man.
And Mars, is it a coincidence that Frank Vogel coached the championship Lakers? Is that a coincidence also?
I mean, if
I'm just saying.
He was carried by the talent. So I mean,
yeah.
I'm about to say, if Darvin Ham won last year, I still wouldn't give a damn about Darvin Ham. I'll be like, yo, you got carried by literal the goat in the brow. Like you got carried by good circumstances.
So we're at Adrian Griffin, right? So we're at Adrian Griffin at the bottom, and we're at the coach from Toronto. Say his name one more time, Miles. I'm sorry.
Darko Rajakovic.
Yeah. Rajakovic. So we're at those two guys. I'm gonna go with Chauncey Billups, third from the bottom.
He's bottom 5 for me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chauncey Billups.
I'd go.
I guess he hasn't proven much. I'm not mad at that. I'd go with Steve Clifford, but I'm not mad at it.
I was gonna go Steve Clifford, fourth from the bottom.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
That's where I would go. I would go Steve Clifford, fourth from the bottom, and.
Who's Orlando's coach? Mosley?
He's actually good. That coach from Orlando ain't bad. He is not bad.
Where's Unseld Jr. moving you guys?
I don't believe so. No,
he's not.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Wes Unseld Jr. So we got the 5 bottom coaches.
Chris Finch isn't moving me either in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bad, but I don't think there's many bad coaches in the NBA. But Chris,
I'm gonna get roasted.
Mid coaches. I feel like it's a bunch of average and mid coaches.
You got like the upper echelon, and then there's a lot of mids, and there's only like 3. There might be like 2 coaches who I think are legitimately bad.
I feel like there might be a couple coaches who are disguised as mid who are really bad, but that's a conversation for a different day.
So we got the bottom 5 with those guys, and then how about Billy Donovan in the next 5?
But that Chicago defense is moving me, man, and he's doing that with Vucevic as the rim protector.
And Alex Caruso.
But Alex Caruso being your best defender and you have a top 5 defense is.
And he's only playing
pretty
like
impressive.
20 minutes? He's not
22
even
minutes a game.
Yeah, he's not even
22 minutes a game. That's it.
That good. That is crazy.
So
22 minutes a game.
I think now is an appropriate time for Darvin Ham.
I'm
not mad at Darvin Ham coming up.
Okay, so Darvin Ham at 5, at 4,
at the 5th best coach, or what?
No. We already got the bottom 5. We in the next bottom.
All right, can you give me the bottom 5 again?
The bottom 5. We got Adrian Griffin.
Okay.
We got the coach from Toronto. We got Chauncey Billups. Yeah. Rajakovic. We got Chauncey Billups. We got Steve Clifford, and number 5 was and Wes Unseld Jr. So we got the bottom 5. All right. So now we move on to the next 5.
Yeah, I'm fine with Darvin Ham here. In this bottom 5, you can get the order down whenever. I'm fine with Darvin Ham.
In the bottom 5.
Well, in the next 5. So
the next 5
24.
so bottom 10.
So he'll be at 24 right now. That's what it'll be, 24.
Will Hardy, coach of Utah.
He's a good coach.
I think he's a good coach too, to be honest with you. I'm thinking about the record. I think he's a damn good coach.
So
I do. I'm thinking about their record.
We got. So I don't think it'll be Tibbs. I don't think it'd be Quinn Snyder. Rick Carlisle also living off reputation, in my opinion. Just saying.
And I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna double down on Mars. I want to put Jason Kidd on that list too.
Oh, okay. Yep, Jason Kidd. That's valid.
I want to put Jason. I want to put Jason Kidd there too.
Yeah, Jason Kidd's valid.
Okay. So we got Darvin Ham, Rick Carlisle. Even though I still think Rick Carlisle's a good coach, but I mean, I think we're looking at something different if Halliburton doesn't get hurt. But that's neither here nor there. Jason Kidd. Let's see. How about Jacques Vaughn? Is Jacques Vaughn in the bottom 10?
Based on not proving much, we could do it.
That's what I was thinking. I'm not thinking about X's and O's. I'm thinking about he hasn't really he just got the job. And he got the job in a under duress. Like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving were both traded. And it was a sinking ship last year. If it was another month in the season, I don't know if Brooklyn would have made the playoffs, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him for that. But yeah, I think Jacques Vaughn can fall into the same bracket as some of these coaches who just haven't been in the league very long to really.
Right.
I mean, I know he was coaching like in the mid-2010s, but
I'm a big fan of Jacques.
What do you call it? The one for the Thunder? The coach for the Thunder? What we got?
Mark Daigneault. Yeah, I think he's a very good coach. I wouldn't have him down here. But we're getting to a point where I think whoever we pick is a good coach in some capacity.
Right.
I think after these 5, and 2 of them haven't even coached in the NBA, I'm like, everyone else isn't bad. So I don't think it's disrespect to have someone at 25. I just think there's a lot of good coaches.
All right, so who we going to 25, fellas?
Darvin Ham.
Darvin Ham?
Darvin Ham at 25.
Jason Kidd at 24.
Jason Kidd at 24.
Yeah, we'll go Chris Finch at 23, yeah.
Okay.
Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, Rick Carlisle, yeah.
I think Rick Carlisle 22.
Well, once we get through the list, we might make some.
Okay.
What about Quinn Snyder? How are we feeling about Quinn Snyder?
I think Quinn Snyder is higher.
I'd put Rick Carlisle above Quinn Snyder personally. But
I think.
How are we feeling? Rick Carlisle or Quinn Snyder?
I think Quinn Snyder's a damn good coach. I think he's a better coach.
I think Quinn's better than him too.
Yeah, I do. I don't put him in. I don't put him in this bottom half. I have him actually in this.
We can do Jacques Vaughn now, though. We could do Jacques Vaughn.
All right, I'm cool. I'm cool with Jacques Vaughn.
Is Jacques Vaughn ahead of Rick Carlisle?
Yes.
I'm not mad. Yeah, I wouldn't argue too much.
We're saying Will Hardy. We like Will Hardy, so he's gonna be higher, right?
How do we
like Will Hardy over?
I like Hardy at 20.
He might be higher, but like Joe Mazzulla.
As of right now,
how do you feel?
I like Hardy at 20. I do.
I like Hardy over Mazzulla. I'm gonna say I like Hardy.
Yeah, that's why I brought up Mazzulla, because I'm like, I prefer Hardy over Mazzulla too.
What adjustments because I watched that Utah team, and I mean, Walker Kessler should be playing more than he is. I know he's a rook, but he should definitely be playing more than he is. But I do think that Hardy maximizes Kelly O. I'm still surprised Kelly O is in the league. But the fact that he's still in the league and successful the way he is, the way Hardy uses him, and the way he uses
good offensive team.
They are. They're a damn good offensive team. So I might have to go with. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
We could do Mazzulla now. I think
Joe Mazzulla now.
Yeah, 20.
I think so.
Damn, the Celtics fired a top 5 coach for a coach at 20.
We're getting to around the point where I'm waiting for Michael Malone to show up.
This is my thing with Joe Mazzulla and
you don't think Michael Malone's a good coach, Mars? I don't know why. What's the problem?
No, I think there's just a lot of good coaches in the league. I think he's in the mid-tier of coaches, which would fall him around 14 to 19. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he's top 10 just because he won a championship. Because, like I said, those terrorist lineups that he'd be putting out to boost Jokic plus minus are not moving me. I'm onto his games. I know what he's doing. He's making Jokic leads and plus minus so that his MVP case is stronger. I'm not being tricked. I can see it. I can see through it.
All right, so we
plus minus. I'm onto him.
All right, so it seems like we got Billy Donovan still out there. We got JB Bickerstaff. Steve Clifford. Is Steve Clifford on the list?
Charlotte. He's 27.
Yeah.
27.
Yeah, at the bottom. Yeah,
All right. Okay. I was going to say, Jamal Mosley. He hasn't got put on yet. And once again, I know you guys said we had said Joe Mazzulla because I got a little bit of pushback to Ime Udoka.
What's the pushback for Udoka?
Joe Mazzulla damn near came in and did the same thing Ime Udoka did. He was just one game off. And my thing is, look, the Boston Celtics are, I would say, they're quite easily the best team to coach in the NBA.
Literally, Ime got fired for doing things outside of basketball.
Absolutely.
Joe Mazzulla was about to be fired for his decision making and lineup management and how that team was looking inconsistent. There were talks on get Joe out of here when they were blowing leads or whatever it was. Joe Mazzulla's job was in question because of his coaching. Ime's never was in question because of
I don't think Joe Mazzulla.
You gotta remember, they were
I think
Ime's first season, they were 500 after like 40 games.
They were actually below 500, Mars.
And then Jaylen Brown had to put out a tweet saying like, we're going to turn this around or something. And then they turned it around.
I don't think people were calling for his job though, were they?
I think there were Boston fans who were concerned.
I'm about to say, I literally work with a diehard Boston fan who gives me updates on the Boston media all the time. At no point did I hear rumors about Ime's about to get his, Ime's job. Like, yo, what is Ime doing? We need to look for a different coach. I never heard Ime's job being questioned. I remember vividly being on Players' Choice alone, and we were talking about Joe Mazzulla need to be fired.
Damo, though, this is my thing. I think that was a whole media thing. I don't think they were ever in the front office like, oh, man, his seat's heating up. We got the fire under his ass. He's on the hot seat. I don't think that was ever the case.
They couldn't fire him, but I would keep going, Ron. I'm sorry.
I think it was primarily due to what Ime did at the tail end of last year and then leading them to the championships. It's like you have high expectations, but I don't think they were ever like, yo, Joe, you're not doing a good job. Joe, you're not resonating. Joe, we don't want you to be here. I don't think that was ever the case. Boston played good throughout the whole year last year, even in the regular season, even in the playoffs. Like, okay, yeah, it might have been some lineup conflicts. It might have been a couple things. They might have given up a couple leads, but I think Boston lived up to their expectations last year. They just got smoked out by the Heat, and Jimmy Butler was just about some shit. I don't think Joe Mazzulla did a terrible job, and that kind of leads me to my original point. Like, what him and Ime did was not too far off.
Okay, so how many coaches that are still left do you have Joe Mazzulla over?
How about even a better question, Mars? Is Joe Mazzulla a better coach than Willie Green?
No, they're not even in the same tier to me.
Jalen, is Joe Mazzulla a better coach than Jalen Green?
Jalen Green, yeah.
I'm sorry, Willie Green. I apologize. Willie Green.
Man, Joe Mazzulla is just I haven't seen enough yet, so I'm gonna go Willie Green.
That's the point I'm trying to make with Ime Udoka. I'm not saying that Joe Mazzulla is better than Ime. I'm not saying that he clears them or anything like that. I'm just saying we've seen 1 year from Ime. And we see one year from Joe.
Did you watch him went to the championship preseason game? He's already made our team start playing defense.
I'm about to say, yeah.
We're already
time out, Mars. Okay. Once again, and I'm not trying to knock Ime. I'm just saying we've seen it for 1 year. With that being said, you guys got Dillon Brooks, the self-proclaimed best defender in the world. Dillon Brooks injected that tenacity into these guys. See, I can say this. You see what I'm saying? I can say it's Dillon Brooks. But look. You got Dillon Brooks. You got a vet like Fred. You got Jeff Green out there. You got other guys who came and, vets that might have cleaned up some of these bad habits. Now, I'm not saying that Ime didn't, but I'm just saying they got reinforcements.
Now, Ron.
What's up?
There were vets on these other Rockets teams that didn't do this. So
what vets were there last year?
DJ Augustine was on our team.
Respect DJ Augustine.
DJ Augustine got like 12 or 13 years in the league, Mons.
Respect DJ Augustine.
I'm the one hating on DJ Augustine. He is.
I am. DJ Augustine ain't teaching nobody no goddamn defense.
And Van Fleet
he was never a defender. He was never a defender.
I said Dillon Brooks. I said Dillon Brooks and Jeff Green. I skimmed over Fred Van Fleet. Hey, but look though. Fred Van Fleet played with Kawhi, Kyle Lowry. He played on the championship. He played on the championship pedigree defense.
Do I need to go through the list of players DJ Augustine has played with?
Yeah, I don't think he's been on the championship roster.
I don't think
he played with championship level players. He played with guys that had rings.
All right.
We also
Respect
had
DJ Augustine.
Eric Gordon's played on championship level teams.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
In Houston.
Yep. He
So
was
he
there
knows
in
what
that
it is.
heyday. That's two.
DJ Augustine was on that. DJ Augustine was on that roster that lost to the Heat in 13 in the East Finals. He was on that team.
Come on, man.
What, Pacers?
Yeah, he was on that team.
Paul George.
Yeah, well, I don't really think he's improving
He's
anybody's
more
defense.
different
But
defense.
That's cool. You just hate.
Facts.
but hey, the
You're
point still
ignorant,
stands.
Joe.
We seen 1 year at MA, we seen 1 year at Joe. They looked
No,
pretty
they
equal to
didn't.
me.
They didn't. Just because they got to a similar spot doesn't mean they
And
lost.
I get what you're saying, like X's and O's and other things are different. Other things are different, but I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think Joe is. We can't tax Joe with the same thing that we're bigging up MA for. That's the only point I'm making.
I'm not taxing Joe. I just think there's a lot of good coaches. So him being 20 doesn't mean he's bad. It's like being the 20th best player in the NBA. It doesn't mean you're not good. It just means there's a lot of great players. There's a lot of good coaches.
I understand that too, but
No, that's a bad example, Mars, because it's only 30 coaches in the league. It's 430 players in the
There's
NBA.
assistant coaches who I think are better than head coaches, but we can't rank them. So.
Well, we already seen that. Nick Nurse was a better coach than Dwayne Casey. Okay, I got that.
So it's so like just because if we did all coaching stuff, like main coach, like assistants and coaches, some head coaches wouldn't even make the list. Joe Mazzulla would still make the list because I think he's in the top 30.
Hey, Haim, relax on being a hater, yo. Like the kid SGA is becoming an elite player. So this is what happens when players become elite. People start to recognize them and they talk about them more. Now, if you don't like it, that's a you problem. But SGA is becoming an elite player. So that's what's going to happen when you have elite players in the game. Jason Tatum, when he was becoming an elite player. LeBron James, when he was becoming an elite. All of these guys, when they become elite players, you start talking about them more. So if you don't like it, talk about your guy who you think is becoming an elite player and make your voice louder. How about that? But I'm sorry, Ron. Back to Joe Mazzulla. Is he better than Billy Donovan?
Joe, let's make Joe Mazzulla the benchmark.
I'll give him Billy Donovan.
So take him off the list then. So take him.
I'm gonna put Billy right here.
You think Mars? You think Willie Green is better than him? Damo, do you think Willie Green is better than Joe Mazzulla?
Yes.
How about you? How about you, Jalen?
With the Pelicans, yeah, I like what he's done with the young guys there with Herb Jones, Alvarado. Now give him a healthy Zion. Like when Zion's played, when they've had them healthy, I think they played really well together. Right. I like Willie Green.
Tom Thibodeau or Joe Mazzulla?
Again, Joe Mazzulla haven't seen it. I'm going to go.
I just want to. The reason why we're going to get this list moving is because I just want to stick to the guys that because Mars, we had him at 20. So if you think Willie Green is better than him, if all of you dudes think Willie Green is better than him, so he has to be at least at 20. Is he better than the coach of at Orlando?
Orlando's Wes Unseld, right?
No,
Mosley.
Washington's Wes Unseld. Jamal Mosley is Orlando.
Oh yeah.
If Mosley was in Boston, could he do what Mazzulla did?
Wait, Jamal Mosley's not on the list yet?
No.
Well, we're talking about unproven guys. I mean,
I was going to say if we have the
So again, Mars, let's take Mosley off Orlando and let's put him in Boston. Is he doing what Mazzulla did last season? He's implementing his own system, his management style. Is he doing what Mazzulla did?
I don't think they go to Game 7 in the conference finals. No.
You think they beat him earlier than that?
No.
Sweep.
I think. See, this is the problem I have with coaches. I think different coaches come in for different things. I think Jamal Mosley's a developmental coach. So I'm judging him on the scale of what I think his job entails. I think Joe Mazzulla's meant to be a winning coach. I don't think a developmental coach being able to win is an indication of how good of a coach he is, because I don't think that's the job he's there for. I think you judge Jamal Mosley based on what his job is. I think he's better at his job than Joe Mazzulla is at his. I trust Jamal Mosley as a coach of a young team more than I trust Joe Mazzulla as a coach of a championship team. And that's the roles they both have. So I think Jamal Mosley's a better coach. It's like judging players, like judging a point guard based on his rebounding ability. Like, that's not really what your job is meant to be. So am I really going to hold it against you if you're not that good at that? That's how I'm kind of gauging. I think Jamal Mosley, as a player development coach is elite. Whereas I think Joe Mazzulla as a championship coach isn't elite. Hence, Jamal Mosley is a better coach than Joe
That's a
Mazzulla.
good point.
That's at
I
least how I'm
never
thinking
looked at it
about
like that.
Mars, can't the same thing be said about Joe Mazzulla, who's, by the way, a development coach at the time, and he was thrown?
That's why I said I think he's in the wrong role. That's why I said I don't think he's meant to be a championship winning coach, but he got thrown into the role. So now I have to judge him based on what his job description is, which is he's meant to win. Even though I don't think he's best suited for that role. I think he would have been great for a young team. I think he would have been great for a team like Detroit. But that's not the role he got put into. So that's why he's being judged.
So if we're doing that, Mars, how about if we put Mazzulla in Orlando? What does he look like as a head coach? Do you think that he gets the same results for Mosley, or do you think he does better, considering that unit?
I think the team is worse, but I think the guards probably develop more because I think Joe Mazzulla is a more perimeter-oriented coach. I think he probably gives guys like Cole Anthony more burn. RJ Hampton might still be on the team, those type of things. But I don't think we see the ultra big lineups of Wendell, Paolo, Franz, like the ultra big. I don't think we see that. So I think he's less experimental. I'll say that. I think he's more stick to one type of play style, spread
Open
the
up the
floor,
playbook.
more shooting.
Open up the playbook.
Whereas I think Jamal Mosley, and I think that's what you need when you develop teams. Not everyone develops the same. You have to have different philosophies and different play styles and understand what fits your team best. I think Joe Mazzulla is more, I'm going to play my style and hopefully people fit in with it. Whereas Jamal Mosley, I think, adapts to the players he has at hand. So I think the team would probably not benefit as much with Joe Mazzulla.
All right, y'all. We are stuck at 19 right now. We gotta find which coach is 19. Is it Joe Mazzulla?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to put Joe Mazzulla.
Okay. Well, hey, we'll put him here. If he moves up, he moves up. If not, Joe, you are stuck at 17, buddy.
I think now we could put Will Hardy.
Does Will Hardy go ahead? Does Will Hardy go ahead of Mike Malone?
I'll give Michael Malone. I'll give him Will Hardy. I'm not going to argue against. Yeah, I'll put Will Hardy here.
Mm-hmm.
He did his thing with Utah's first year.
I'm not sure Will Hardy is better than Willie Green. I mean, I'm not sure Willie Green is better than Will Hardy. I think Willie Green's a great motivator. I think they're in the same too. I think Will Hardy is a better X and O guy. I think Willie Green is a better motivator. I think he's a better manager. I think he's a damn good X and O guy. But I think Will Hardy's a damn good X and O guy from an offensive standpoint.
Yeah, I'm not. If everyone here was like, "Oh, I'd put Will Hardy over Willie Green," I'm not going to argue. I think they're in the same realm, so I'm perfectly fine with them being the two names here, and we can flip them if everyone.
So Willie Green next.
Yes, yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right, Willie Green. Now we are at, I would assume, guys like Taylor Jenkins, Frank Vogel, Mike Brown.
I do not love Taylor Jenkins. To be honest with you,
I'm not high on Taylor Jenkins. I'd put Quinn Snyder here. I'd put Quinn Snyder here. I'd put Quinn Snyder then Taylor Jenkins.
Yeah, I was thinking flipping it because I watched Taylor Jenkins and his rotations, his offensive schemes. I'm not sold on
his offense is basic. His offense is basic.
It is. There's nothing not even complex. There's not a lot of action going on with him. It's get a ball to Ja, operate.
So Taylor Jenkins next?
Yeah, let's put Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins, then I think Quinn Snyder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd put OKC's coach next.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say with OKC, I like that. Is Mark Daigneault better than Thibodeau?
I think he is, but Thibodeau has
that's what I'm saying. So
he's got the cachet.
Yeah,
Tibbs has the cachet.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's a horrific spelling, but I don't know how to spell it. But
exactly, yeah, close enough.
I know that's wrong, but I don't know what the right spelling is.
It's like a IULT.
Put Dagonate.
It's like I'm pretty sure it's like a French spelling of some sort.
It's DAI.
Someone in the chat will have to spell it.
It's DAIGNEAUT. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know that was a wrong spelling, but I didn't know the right spelling.
Once again, DAI. I think you got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yep.
All right, Mark Daigneault. There you go. All right, 13. What are we looking at? Tom Thibodeau still hasn't made the list. JB Bickerstaff, Frank Vogel, nope. Monty Williams. We looking at, fellas?
I'm gonna say I was thinking Bickerstaff here, unless
you're thinking
Bickerstaff, JB. Unless there was objections, I think this would be a good spot for JB.
I think him and Monty are the same, like tier.
No, I don't think those two guys are the same. But I was thinking him and Frank Vogel are the same, actually.
Him, Frank Vogel, and Ty Lue for these three.
Ty Lue's the worst out of this bunch. I've never liked Ty Lue. Ty Lue can go to the bottom.
So,
I didn't realize
Ty Lue or Mike Malone?
I'm taking Mike Malone.
I'm taking Ty Lue.
I'll say Ox. Chill, Mike Malone or Ty Lue?
Mike Malone.
Yeah, I don't fuck the Clippers. So I would have.
Yeah, I'm not arguing.
Put Ty Lue right here.
So Ty Lue next.
Yeah, Ty Lue, and then Frank Vogel, and then
Monty.
Frank Vogel worse than Mike Malone?
No.
Frank Vogel at 10. Frank Vogel at 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Frank Vogel top 10.
Monty at 9.
Coach Moti at I don't know if Mike Brown is better than Monty. I'm not sure
if Mike Brown's better than Frank Vogel. But
I mean, we can adjust. Yeah,
we can put Mike Brown here. We can put Mike Brown here.
Mike Brown.
There you go.
I think we're getting into Steve Kerr territory right now.
Yeah.
Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle's down at the bottom.
He's already, yeah.
Oh damn, y'all disrespected him like that.
It's not disrespect.
Calm down, buddy.
All right,
Actually,
so
I'd put Tibbs here.
Oh, I was about to say Tibbs didn't snuck this far up.
I was gonna say Tibbs did move to
I like Tibb, but I don't know. Tibb can be a terrorist sometimes.
I think now we can just put the rest of the coaches in whatever order, and then we'll just adjust it after.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So we'll put Tibbs, Nick Nurse. Who else is left? Steve Kerr, Gregg Popovich, Eric Spoelstra.
Yep.
What other coach are we missing, if any?
Ime
Udoka.
Yeah, Ime.
Spo.
Yeah, so Spo, Steve Kerr, Gregg Popovich.
And
the last one is who?
What are we missing?
Who are we missing? Did we said Coach Moti?
We got Spo, right? Spo's up
Yeah,
here,
we got Spo. We got
Spo, Gregg Popovich, and Steve Kerr to put in. Well, we got Spo. We got Gregg Popovich and Steve Kerr.
Okay. We got Steve
and
Kerr.
The last one.
Who are we missing? Do we got Nick Nurse?
Mike Brown? Oh no, we have Mike Brown in there.
So we got Mike Brown. We got
Chad,
Spo.
Who we missing?
We got Spo. We got Unseld. We got the head coach of Toronto. We got Nick. We got Nick Nurse. We got the coach at Orlando.
We're missing somebody that's so good.
We got Adrian Griffin. We got Quinn Snyder. We got Carlisle. We got Bickerstaff. We got Missoula. We got Jacques Vaughn. We got where's Billy Donovan at? I think we got Billy Donovan, right?
Yeah, he's at 20.
Okay, Clifford. We got Clifford. We got Monty Williams. We got Jenkins. We got Mike Malone. We got Jason Kidd. We got Finch. We got Willie Green. We got Steve Kerr. We got Dagenhall. We got
how are we missing?
It's crazy. Yeah, this is crazy.
We got Dalvin Ham. We got Ty Lue. We got Frank Vogel. We got Chauncey Billups. We got Mike Brown. We got Pop. We got Hardy. And we got.
Did we end up putting the Orlando coach, or did we just not put him?
That might be the one we're missing. That is
Mosley.
Yeah, we missed him. That's the one we forgot.
We spoke about him for so long, we didn't actually put him.
Yeah, we didn't even add him. And he was in this area right here, like Will Hardy, Willie Green. That's the one we didn't.
All right, so where do we want to put him?
I'm fine with above Joe Mazzulla, below Will Hardy. If everyone's fine with that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Above Joe Mazzulla.
So at 18.
At 18?
Mm-hmm.
I got him behind Joe, but okay.
Damn, I got to redo all of these.
I was going to say, you can just put 18 at the top.
No, you don't.
What you got to do?
Yeah, you do. You got to move everybody. You got to move.
Automatically change.
10, they got to go up one. Yeah, buddy.
Got to do the extra work, Ron.
Nice job, Ron.
Fire. Hold on. So we said above above, right?
In between Hardy.
Technologically smart. I'm pretty sure there's a way that you could just move everyone else up one spot. I'm pretty sure
it is, but
I'm not very intelligent, so I don't know.
I am with the dude.
It definitely is, but either way it goes, let's start with one and then I'll work my way back down. We know exactly where he's gonna be. But in this top 10, let's sort this out because this is what we came for anyways. Spoelstra 1?
I feel Spoelstra.
I'm not mad at Spoelstra 1. Yeah,
I'm not mad at
should be unanimous in my opinion.
Everybody's here with this.
Yeah, Eric Spoelstra 1. We'll
Chill. All right.
W.
Chill left. That's how good he was with it.
Facts.
2.
I'm not gonna be biased, so I'm gonna let you guys say who.
I'm gonna say Gregg Popovich at 2. I'm not gonna disrespect him too much now, because even when the past 3 years, has it been his coach? Has a team like the talent just hasn't been there? Have they played when you watch them? Are they playing bad? You know what I mean? Like, is the coaching bad? I don't think the coaching bad. Like, he's in the developmental stage now, right? More so than trying to win championships, to Marge's point. So,
I mean,
his team still shoots some of the most mid-range jump shots in the league. So some would say his style's outdated.
That's a very fair point. But I think guys like Keldon have gotten better. Vassell have gotten better under him. Sokan throughout last year got better under him. So I think developmentally he's doing a phenomenal job.
I mean, this is all I'm gonna say.
Let's talk about.
Did Gregg Popovich tell him to change his free throw routine, or did he come up with that himself? Oh,
the world may never know. I'm okay with Pop being top 4, top 3.
Look. Okay, look. Check this out.
I would say Nick Nurse at 2.
All right, so who's everybody's vote for 2? Who's everybody's vote for 2?
Ime.
So Mars got Ime.
I got.
Who'd you just say, Demo?
Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse. All right, chill. Who do you got that should be 2? Who do you think should be 2?
The second best coach in the league?
Yeah, we voted Eric Spoelstra as 1.
Number 1. Yeah.
Monty Williams.
Monty. All right, that's 3 different coaches. Jalen, who you got?
Give me Gregg Popovich. It's 4.
All right, I vote Gregg Popovich too.
There it is.
Oh, boring. You was just saying about how Gregg Popovich got given all this talent and how I remember you was commenting in the open gym chat, right?
I mean, Steve. Oh, we gonna get on that. Hey, we gonna get on that. Steve Kerr, same thing though. Steve Kerr's a talent merchant.
Facts.
And that's why he's not in the top 2.
Number 3 though.
Ime Udoka.
I got Ime.
Oh, you switched up. I got Nick Nurse.
Yeah, actually.
How do you have Nick Nurse? Yeah, right.
Nah, Domo, don't do that. You got Ime at 3. You got Ime at 3. Stay true. You got
Nick Nurse
at 3.
Nick Nurse at 3. Nick Nurse at 3.
Chill.
Nick Nurse.
There it is.
Ime at 4.
I'm not that. I do have Ime at 4.
All right.
Nah. Screw Ime. I like dudes that are faithful to their wives. Give me Steve Kerr.
All right, hold on. Wait. Time out. Let's start from the top. All right, chill. Who do you got as the 4th best coach in the league?
Udoka.
All right, 1 Udoka. Damo.
Hey, bitch, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Give me Udoka. What are we talking about?
I swear she was. She was making more money than him. She was the actress. She was making more money than him in a long time, bro.
What are
she
we
was
talking
putting food
about,
on his
man?
plate. Well, he was an assistant
Mars.
coach. She was putting food on his plate, Damo.
Ime Udoka.
All right. Ime Udoka takes the cake.
We're celebrating cheating right now, man. We celebrate.
We are.
Cheating right
yes,
now.
we are.
That's crazy.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, wait till
If
your
you cheat and you're good at your job,
daughters. Come on, man.
All right, fellas. At 5, who are we taking? Chill. Who do you got?
Monty Williams.
All right, we got 1 for Monty. Damo.
It pains me to say this. Steve Kerr.
1 for Steve. Mars.
Steve Kerr.
2 for Steve. Jalen.
Yeah, Steve Kerr.
Well, Steve Kerr it is. All right, here's where it starts getting a little fishy. At 6, we got a whole list of coaches to choose from. Who would we say is 6?
I'm going Monty.
Me too.
Coach Moti.
Chill was above me. My fault, Chill.
Coach Moti. You said the same thing that I was saying. So,
all right, Money got it. At 7, what are we thinking?
I'm with you, Doma. Me and you on the same page, Frank Vogel.
I'm going to say Frank Vogel.
Chill.
I think JB Bickerstaff's a better coach than Frank Vogel.
Okay, so we got 1 for JB, 2 for Frank.
Yeah, we gonna get Frank Vogel up there.
All right, Frank it is.
Okay.
All right, at 8, what are we thinking?
Now I think everyone here is like in a similar tier.
I'm cool with Mike Brown at 8.
I'm actually cool with that name right there.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
I was like, I'm fine with where 8 is right now, actually.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I wouldn't push back.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool
and then Tom Thibodeau was originally in this top 10. Would you guys have him at 9?
I've got Ty Lue over Tibbs.
I got Mike Malone. I got Mike Malone over Tibbs too.
So we got 1 Mike Malone. Well, hold on. Who should be in the 9 spot right now?
Next. That's for me.
That's what we're debating, right? We're debating between Ty Lue, Thibodeau, Mike Malone.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask everybody chill.
Yeah, because Jamal Mosley. I mean, yeah.
We got Damo because I had Tibbs. I think Mars had Ty Lue and Chilltown had Mike Malone.
I got Mike Malone over them.
Mike Malone gets 2 votes. I got Ty Lue.
It's 2-2.
Chat.
Ty Lue or Mike Malone.
Mike Malone.
Mars, we talking about a Mike Malone who didn't have his second best player, and he did have his best player. I understand your logic about him getting Joker's plus minus up. I can definitely get with that logic. But with his rotation, especially against teams like the Miami Heat, against the Lakers, how he runs that offense in his defensive scheme, I think that's a little bit better in game than what I see from Thibodeau. Thibodeau coaches one way, and that's it. He doesn't really adjust that much, especially if he has the players.
I've got Mike Malone over Tibbs. I agree. Ty Lue, no. But you know what? You made a good point about him missing his second best player. You know what makes him even worse? Even without Jamal Murray, he was running Jokic only with the stars. He would put Aaron Gordon with the bench because he's boosting his plus minus. I'm on to him. He was running Aaron Gordon and the bench lineup, and Jokic would play with the starters with no Jamal Murray because he's boosting his plus minus. I know what you are doing, Michael Malone. I'm not. You can't trick me. I read it 2 years ago what he was doing, because every time we're in a post-game interview, guess what he brings up? Jokic plus minus. I know what he's doing. It's cool. I'm not letting him slide though. Ty Lue's better. But I do agree with you about him making adjustments over Tom Thibodeau, and I actually do like what he did with his defense this year. I think he made very good adjustments.
I'm running a poll right now. If you haven't got a chance to go over there and vote, go vote between Mike Malone and Ty Lue. I'm gonna leave this up for about 30 more seconds. Right now, Mike Malone is slightly edging out Ty Lue. 54-46, 55-45, 54-46, 55-45.
Yeah,
all right, y'all.
Warning stat padding is crazy. Like TC said in the chat, Michael Malone is the first stat padding coach of all time. Never seen it before in my life.
What, Billy Donovan?
I mean, did he tell?
Steven Adams.
That was Steven Adams, the first stat padding center. That wasn't stat pad his own stats.
Keep Jokic in the game up 20 just so he can get triple doubles. I'm onto him. I know what he's doing.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Steven Adams is a real teammate, man. I don't know. A lot of players would just.
You learn from Joel Anthony, man. Joel Anthony walks so Steven Adams can run.
Exactly.
Hey, talk about it. Liking it.
All right, here we go. It's looking like Mike Malone's packing him up 52-48.
That's not packing.
All right.
But yeah, I'm not arguing. Ty Lue is a small ball merchant, so I'm not. I don't care either way.
All right, so I'm assuming we're going Mike Malone and then Ty Lue next. Is everybody in favor of Ty Lue?
That's fine. I mean,
Ty Lue.
Yeah.
Is there any objections?
Honestly, give me OKC's coach Mark Daigneault over Ty Lue.
At 10?
I know he's a small ball merchant, but calm down.
I'm not.
I'm cool with Ty Lue at that. If Ty Lue was with that Oklahoma City. If he was with that Oklahoma City crew, they would be what they are. I think that they'd be a little bit better.
Man,
considering
that team plays small. It's Ty Lue's right up his street.
Yeah.
So chill. You got Ty Lue.
Mm-hmm.
Damo, you said you like Ty Lue here, or do you have somebody else? All right, Morris, you got Ty Lue. All right, Jalen, Ty Lue it is.
I'm gonna start talking about Ty Lue like how Damo talks about Darvin Ham.
I was pushing terrorist propaganda for Ty Lue long before you. Don't.
Okay. But now you hyping him up.
You notice this is the thing, man. All your agendas get stolen and pushed way
it's
harder.
Crazy. And everyone else just pushes the agenda harder than I do.
Hey, y'all just heard somebody had to walk for somebody to run. Somebody had to run for somebody to fly. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I need to be more passionate with my takes because clearly I need to stand
on business.
Wait, you talk about somebody who's been a talent merchant. Tyler's been with LeBron James and it goes to a Clippers team and obviously deal with injuries, but hasn't performed with them.
See now,
I've never seen Tyler do nothing. I've never seen
Tyler pushing the agenda.
You're not pushing the agenda good enough.
You need to talk about the fact that he's playing Marcus Morris in 2023. That's what you need to talk about.
Oh, that's fair point. Should have used Robert Covington more too. I still think Robert Covington could be.
Why is he not in the rotation?
I don't know.
Because he hates him.
Because he's a terrorist.
There you go. Because there's no reason for Marcus Morris to be playing and Robert Covington doesn't. No reason.
All right, y'all. We gotta figure out. I'm assuming 21 through 30 is solid.
Yeah.
And if it's any adjustments we need to make, we'll go and make them. But we still gotta get 11 through 20. And it seems like we got 20 and 19 ironed out. That should be Billy Donovan, Joe Mazzulla. But we still gotta figure out 11 through 18. So who is 11?
For me, it's Tibbs or JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think Tibbs.
I'll say Tibbs. Yeah, I'll say Tibbs.
11.
Yeah, I'll go Tibbs. That's fine.
I don't want to be the egotistical weasel of the group, so I'll roll. Even though
you're just high on everything in Cleveland. That's what happened.
That's shit.
The reason why I'm trying to think of an instance where you would like I understand your logic with Houston, how young they are and how good Jalen Green is. That's how I feel about Cleveland in terms of the young core that they have, how good they are defensively. Being that young, I mean, they remind me of a younger version. I mean, I think that Evan Mobley could be Kevin Garnett good defensively. I think he could be that good. I think Jared Allen as a rim protector is the reason why they got the best defense in the league. That's largely due to Bickerstaff's schemes and how that defense pushes teams further away from the basket and deters them from the rim, which makes guys like Donovan Mitchell play higher out, which makes guys like Darius Garland play higher out. I'm big on Cleveland. I do.
I will say, and this is obviously easy to say, but JB Bickerstaff is one conference finals away or appearance away from being top 10. Like if he does that last year, and once again, it's easy to say, but if he does that last year where he's above Mike Brown, I think.
I just think last year, I think Tom Thibodeau absolutely exposed JB Bickerstaff and his.
He did roughed him up
with Isaac Okoro. If you remember, like those first couple games when Isaac Okoro was playing, Tom Thibodeau made it clear Isaac Okoro can't be on this floor.
You have to shoot.
And then after that, he didn't really have many options. And then he stopped playing Isaac Okoro, but then now he's running Karis LeVert, and then the offense was not that good because the two bigs were kind of being made obsolete in the series, and then you weren't getting much perimeter creation. The offense was basic, and then they couldn't play Isaac Okoro for the defense because on offense he was a terrorist. Like JB Bickerstaff got outcoached by Tom Thibodeau.
And the reason why, Mars, and really quickly, Ron, the reason why is because at the 3 spot, that offense is constructed for the 3-man. Anyway, as I was saying, Mars, the reason why with Bickerstaff's offense, the 3-man, his job was not to create shots. It was just to shoot. That was it. And the fact that Okoro couldn't shoot, that completely took him out of the offense. And now we have to go to Evan Mobley for buckets. We got to now start creating. Darius Garland has to create shots for other people. And they just roughed up Evan Mobley. That was the problem. He didn't adjust to that. Offensively. Defensively, though, I think it's a little bit different. So I'm cool with Bickerstaff being at 12. I'm all right with that, but I am high on Bickerstaff. Yes, I am.
How does everybody else feel? Is everybody cool with JB here? Or do you have? I
got Mark over JB.
Yeah, I got Mark too.
We got 2 Marks, 2 JBs. Y'all, I'm gonna have to go with JB.
Okay, that's cool.
That's fine.
Well, if Mark Dagenham was an option over JB Bickerstaff, I'd pick him too.
Yo, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the noise in the background. The lady next door getting busy. But all right, we got JB.
That was a quick 5 seconds.
So who we got at 12?
Oh, it's still going. I just muted myself.
Who we got at 12?
I'm going Mark.
So we got the Oklahoma City coach.
Mark. Yeah, Oklahoma City coach at 12.
See, Ron trying to cheat.
Yeah, Ron.
So Ron, we got the Oklahoma City coach at 12. Who we got at 13?
Matter of fact, we can leave it at that.
Yeah,
hold on. Wait. Oh, wait. Because two people said
Mark changes vote.
Oh, three said Mark.
Who changes vote?
It's fine.
It doesn't matter.
If you want Mark at 12,
it doesn't matter. It's fine.
It's one.
I don't want to see you have to try to spell his name.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mars.
It's fine. I'm looking out for you. It's fine.
14.
I'd put Jamal Mosley here personally.
I was gonna say Willie Green, but I'm not mad at Jamal Mosley.
I mean, between
All right, so look, Mars said Jamal Mosley. Chill, who you got?
Quinn Snyder. I don't think Mosley's better than Quinn Snyder.
All right, we got Jamal, Quinn, Damo.
I got Willie Green.
Willie, Jalen.
I'm gonna go with Quinn Snyder.
Quinn. I got Willie too. So
Chat. I'll be the deciding vote.
Yeah, we can just do a vote between everybody up here. So between Willie Green and Quinn Snyder.
Yeah, so you guys will pick the same people, and then it will just be down to me. As a white man. Let me get Quinn Snyder.
All right, Quinn it is.
Quinn Snyder at 14.
Yeah.
And
we can put Willie Green here.
Cool with that, yeah.
I'm putting Jamal Mosley over Taylor Jenkins.
I'd rather have Jamal Mosley.
I do not. Mars, I've watched Taylor Jenkins, and I'm trying to figure. I'm like, I don't like this dude as a coach, man. I don't love him. I don't hate him. I don't hate him, but I don't love him as a coach.
Yeah, he's mid. I think he's mid. Yeah.
If your team don't respect you, I don't. So
damn, Damo, he's that chick that everybody think is fly, and you like, I don't see it. I'm trying to see what y'all looking at. You ain't really that cute, yo.
All right, fellas, this is what we got right here. This is our top 30 coaches in the NBA. Player's choice style. You see 1 through 30. I'm not gonna list them off, but you can look at them. We'll eventually take these lists. We'll blast them on our social media so you guys can keep these close to home and reference them as the games are going on through the season. With that being said, we finally got down to our top 10. So this was the main thing that I wanted to see. At top 10, I will mention off the top 10. We got Eric Spoelstra at 1, Gregg Popovich at 2, Nick Nurse at 3, Ime Udoka at 4, Steve Kerr at 5, Monty Williams at 6, Frank Vogel at 7, Mike Brown at 8, Mike Malone at 9, Ty Lue at 10.
I want y'all to understand, everybody, when we go into the season and everybody starts to wonder, where did the Steve Curry as a terrorist agenda officially start pushed? Like, get traction. It is this list with Ime and Nick Nurse above him. He's a terrorist, people. This year's going to prove it. I promise you.
A lot of people have Ty Lue high as well. Like, we have Ty Lue at 10. A lot of people have Ty Lue in the top 5. So
they're all terrorists.
That's crazy.
We're early on that one.
I do not think Tyler is a top 5 coach. I do not.
I genuinely think anyone who thinks that is an ally of Al Qaeda.
Whoa. Okay.
I mean, hey.
You support terrorist activity, buddy. That's crazy.
We are so getting canceled.
All right, fellas. Look, so this list is going back up right now. Out of this list, I need you guys to vote who is your coach of the year.
I think it's Moti.
So
either Bickerstaff or actually, you know what? I'm not gonna get on the fence. I'm actually gonna pick somebody. I think it's JB Bickerstaff. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are a top 3 seed this year. I think Donovan Mitchell again is going to be an all-NBA performer. I think that Darius Garland is better. I think Evan Mobley is the defensive player of the year. I think JB Bickerstaff is the coach of the year this year.
So I think it's going to come down to, kind of the criteria you use. So coach of the year, it's going to come down to how much the coach improved the team from last year, how they got better, or it's going to be a coach that wins 66, 67, 68, kind of has an all-time great regular season type of deal. So with those two criterias, with the improvement, I could see Ime winning coach of the year if Houston does take a little bit of a jump and they seek significantly better with that logic. And in terms of just a team,
don't coach of the year usually go to a winning team, like a very good team?
And I'm just saying that team, They got a lot of talented pieces there. Yeah, I could see them making a jump from what they did last year, being noticeably better, which can get it to him. And in terms of a coach that's going to win a lot of games, probably going to go. I mean, Monty might win 60. Like, they have a great Vikings season. Monty could win it with the talent he has over there. Who else could win like 65 plus games as a coach?
Monty Williams is not winning 60 games in Detroit. That's not happening.
I'm not sure. Sorry. No, yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, sorry. No, I was thinking Phoenix. I was thinking Phoenix. Sorry, I was thinking Phoenix.
No, he is not. Chill out, yo.
Not Monty Williams. Damn, not Monty Williams. I got confused.
No,
I think it was
not winning
Phoenix.
60 games in Detroit.
So who you got, Jalen?
Frank Vogel, I think. He's a Phoenix right now.
You got Frank?
Yeah, Frank Vogel. I think Frank Vogel, if he wins 60, 63, 64, 65 wins in their first, I think he has a chance to win Coach of the Year.
All right, Damo, who's your Coach of the Year prediction?
Darvin Ham.
And you know what?
It's possible. It's actually possible.
It's
really
very
is.
possible.
Yeah.
And I really thought about it, like, realistically speaking, if the Lakers are healthy and everything's clicking and we're like a top 2-3 seed in the West, Darvin Ham can win it. But I refuse to have my name next to his. Give me Mark. I'll take Mark. I think the Thunder can.
You know what? You son of a. You know what, Damo? I've had it with you. If he wins Coach of the Year, you, sir, are dropping the charges against him. We are putting you on. You are dropping the charges on him. Yes, you are. Yes, you are dropping the charges. You are dropping the charges. You are dropping these charges.
Does he go from
This
an
investigation is over.
B-tier terrorist? A-tier?
No, this investigation, Damo, I'm getting the supervisors involved. You are dropping these charges against him, and you will get off of this investigation is over. Otherwise, you will be under investigation, sir.
No. Hey, investigate me. I don't care. Him getting Coach of the Year does not defeat the terrorist allegations. The terrorist allegations will be defeated once I see adequate change in his coaching schematics.
That's how he's going to win the Coach of the Year.
In the playoffs,
you're talking about, Damo.
I gave him his credit when he did things that I deemed, against what he did all regular season and good. I was like, yo, I like what he did here, and here. That's great. If he can do that consistently for a regular season, or at least half regular season, I'll say he dropped. Hey, he has defeated the terrorist allegations. But if he's running out here all season with 3 guard lineups and clapping when AD is missing 4 of the 6 threes or 5 of the 6 threes he's taking a game, and he's out there clapping it up, and if he's out here being a terrorist all season, us winning a championship isn't going to change that. I'm literally going to say, I'm going to praise Rob Pelinka. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna raise Rob Pelinka to the highest of the heavens if we win with this roster and Darvin Ham is still coaching like a terrorist, because that means the talent is so great. Even a terrorist couldn't get us to lose. So yeah, no, I need adequate change.
Terrorists winning championships is wild.
That's super wild, yo.
So Damo, you got Mark?
Yeah, I got Mark.
All right, Mars.
Email you, Doka.
With it.
I respect it.
We're gonna go up by like 15 plus wins. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
The last coach I think that won without being like a great team, I think, was Doc Rivers on Orlando. I think they were like 500 and one Coach of the Year. It's gonna be a similar deal here.
See, chat, I ain't gonna lie. Some of y'all be off y'all meds. When has AD ever took 5 threes a game?
Never.
He's never took 5 threes.
Respect Anthony Davis.
The most he took was what, 4? Yeah, 3.5. The bubble year, which I've already acknowledged last episode. If we're playing in the season of fake shooters, which the bubble was, the time of fake shooters, I'm telling everybody to shoot if you're hitting. If AD's hitting, yes, tell him to shoot more. Vogel asked him to shoot more because he was hitting shots. But if you're coming off of, and I want to get this completely correct, because I guess y'all don't listen, a year where he shot 25%, and the year before that he shot 19%, and the year before that he shot 26%, saying, hey, raise the volume is idiotic, and I think you work for the Taliban.
Why you got to say Taliban for?
It's a well-known terrorist.
True.
So Dom,
no agenda's being pushed, Jay.
I was gonna say Taliban or the American government. Who's worse?
So Damo, you getting 50s and 55s on your test. So what we're gonna do, instead of making it less difficult, we're gonna make the test harder for you, and we want you to take more. We want you to take harder tests. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's great. That's a great idea. Do that.
Yo, so I'm actually gonna cast my vote. My vote is with Willie Green. I think he has the potential to make that Pelicans team, possibly in the regular season, possibly a top 5, maybe even 4 seed. I think though, if healthy, they can be clicking on all cylinders. I think they can improve a lot from 40. Well, not a lot, but I think they can improve a couple games from 42 wins. I think they can possibly get into the 47, 48 range like Sack last year. So I'm gonna vote with him, but I still have to get all the other guys' votes. I got to get Fluent. Got to get Ticket. I got to get Ox. Speaking of Big Ox, shout out to Big Ox. It's actually his birthday today, so I'm assuming he's hungover or he's day drinking right now. So we're not going to see him for. He might not be here tomorrow. He's probably going to be hungover. But shout out to Big Ox. Y'all go wish him a happy birthday. He just turned 43 today, so shout out to that man. But yeah, I'm gonna get everybody else's votes. We'll put them together. We'll compile a Coach of the Year. If it's a tie, we'll all have to break the tie. So we'll go from there. But as of right now, Mars has Ime Udoka. Jalen has Frank Vogel. Chill has JB Bickerstaff. Damo has Mark. And I'm gonna go with Willie Green. So
just Mark.
Yeah, I'm off his last name.
First name.
Imagine being 43. Embarrassing.
All right, fellas, we got super chats that need to be attended to. So let's go ahead and do that right now.
Let's do it.
Masink OG said, as a Heat fan, us finally getting Birdman was heaven.
See, that's Joel Anthony hate. I don't appreciate that. Joel Anthony was a good contributor for you guys. I don't know why you felt the need that you needed another big.
Bro, Birdman in today's era, social media era, dude would be a character.
You remember Birdman without the tattoos on the head?
You're right.
When he was in Denver, just regular person.
Regular person, dunk contest. Yeah.
Moving along, Never Early said, big fan, missed the last 2 shows. I see no Ticket, LOL. Did Ticket quit the show like Mars predicted? Question mark. And if so, why?
He didn't quit. You can't quit if you leave as a champion. You can't quit.
Bring back Ticket.
He just had enough of cooking us.
Nah, he called us all in for a meeting one day, like right before we started this week. It was just like, I quit, and it's all Shaq's fault. We was just like, all right, cool.
Well, see, here's the backstory. Like, really, you guys might not know, but I'm a man of transparency, and we try to keep it 100 with you fans and whatnot, and all you viewers. And if you were on the GOAT tier list, you would already know this because we have a secret super chat where we unveil all of Players' Choice's deep, dark secrets, but that's a story for another episode. Well, anyways, in light of the whole betting situation, we all know what happened. We all know. I don't have to go into details with all of that, but Ticket's adamant about getting his money. And obviously, Shiloh's not going to send it to him. Nobody's talked to Shaq in the last 72 hours, so apparently he's not going to, pay Shiloh's debt. So Ticket basically said, I have to get my money. So we offered as Players' Choice to buy him a ticket to New York to go pull up on Shiloh. So as of right now, last I checked, Ticket is running around New York City like, y'all seen Home Alone? You remember how them boys was chasing that boy?
Yeah,
that's what I assume in the back of my head that it's looking like right now. Ticket running through apartment buildings, trying to get a hold of Shiloh. I still haven't got an update yet on whether he's found him, but I know Ticket and his minions right now are searching for Shiloh in New York City. So if you run into Ticket, take a picture with him, get an autograph or whatever. Ask him who's better, LeBron or MJ. He might debate you right there on the spot. Who knows? But good luck to Ticket and better luck to Shiloh.
Ticket running around Times Square talking, you seen fake ass Jamal Moore?
Fake ass Jamal Moore. You need my 500. Oh man.
Big Roan 20 sent through a super chat. Said, "Hey, chill, bang bang Niner gang."
Disgusting.
Facts.
Yeah, this
Ain't it, Damo?
Crazy.
So let's put a foot in them Cowboys' ass.
I need Brock Purdy to get exposed quick.
And by the way, Damo, they are without a doubt, unequivocally, the worst fans in pro sports. They are the worst.
100%.
They are the worst. There's no fan base that's worse than Dallas Cowboys. They are the worst.
Oh,
I don't know if you know this, Mars, but on Sunday Night Football, we didn't beat the Cowboys. We stomped them. And what do they say? What do they say? Oh, you want to make it personal? Because we can make it personal. You didn't make it personal on the field. What happened there? Why is it now personal? You didn't make it personal when it was on the field. Cowboy fans are without a doubt, unequivocally, the worst fans in pro sports. 100% they are.
It's weird how they're still so popular. Like they haven't won in 25 years now. Or
the last time they were in the last time they were in the bowl game, I was a senior in college. That's the last I'm gonna say about that.
It's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, you know how long ago that has to be.
The Cowboys.
Yes.
That's like before the NBA even started.
This wasn't white. I didn't have any of this white, just so you know.
It's all black.
I don't even know if black people were allowed to play at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Big sent through a super chat and said, "Hey, yo, chill. You got all this smoke with Gil, but you can tell you only listen to clips. Dude has a good b-ball mind. He will pull up to the show, make it happen.
Please.
He was on the FYF. I saw.
Yeah.
I didn't watch.
I've seen that too.
Pull up then. Pull up.
He was up there.
Pull up. And
Ox was up there with him.
I saw like 10 seconds. Ox was there.
I don't just listen to clips. I've heard his commentary talking about Hakeem Olajuwon's footwork doesn't work in the game today. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Well, he was harping on the fact that he was traveling in them workouts. At least the clip I've seen in the workouts he was doing. With like
which they definitely
they were all
were.
traveling. He's like, you teaching these guys how to travel. This is crazy.
That was a fair point.
For 50K.
50,000?
I could charge someone 50K to teach them how to travel when I didn't even play basketball. I'll do it for 5K. Discount.
Yeah, we'll go to AlaskaAirlines.com.
I didn't see a travel, to be honest.
I'll tell them how to get that discount through Priceline. Tell them some good hotels to stay at. I'll teach you how to travel. Anyways, Angie Carr with the super chat. She said, "Y'all hear Shaq and AI are the president and vice president of Reebok? Reebok is rebranding and rebooting everything.
Yeah, good for them.
Dope.
Good for them, Shaq. Yeah, 100%.
Like I'm copping Reeboks now. That's what's up.
Yeah, that is dope. Feeling that.
Yeah. Shout out Shaq. You know, he what PhD, got his degrees and all that.
Dr. O'Neal.
President, 100%.
Dr. O'Neal.
Allen Iverson too. Allen Iverson doing his thing.
Y'all see Reebok making a bounce back? Y'all see him coming back strong in the next 3-4 years?
It depends.
It depends. Because I mean, Nike has such a stranglehold. It just depends. I feel like with shoes now, you have to be able to make shoes not only for the basketball court, but people that can wear it outside. You know what I mean? That you can still wear what fits. So I don't know if it's just if they can win the basketball shoe market, but the shoe market they can definitely get into if they have a popular shoe.
It just depends on what kind of timing Shaq and AI is on. If Shaq's on the same time of I'm trying to get the affordable shoe and you're gonna put all these Reeboks in Walmart, then hey, good for you. I hope it works out. But if it's like really, I feel like that's something that they'll actually do. But if it's something along the lines of they're really trying to rebrand, they're trying to sign on like these up and coming guys and get signature shoes like that. Yeah. That's a whole different lane and a whole different way, and that's when I would be copping the shoes. But so it just depends on what they really want to do.
Because people realize Jordans do so well is because people wear Jordans out.
Because people are cheap. That's why.
I mean,
because people are cheap.
Wearing basketball shoes outside? No, it's never that. But yeah, Jordan 4, Jordan 1.
Basketball shoes outside. It's just I'm not paying $300, $400 for shoes that came out 15 years ago.
Hey, shout out to them. Still making money. They can release a Jordan 1 with a new colorway right now. $300-$400 it sells out.
Just get reps.
I'm about to say, or just get reps. I ain't gonna lie.
They look the same.
Ain't nobody about to walk up and take them off my feet. Yo, let me lick the tongue. Let me check and see. Like,
Gerard Stewart said, "I'm out on Rob Dillingham for next year's draft."
He's the one at OTE, right? Like he was at OTE. Yeah, he's the one. Yeah, I'm not too high on him as an NBA player.
He's at Kentucky right now, though.
I know. Cool.
Okay.
But I'm not going to pay too much attention during the season. When it comes to draft time, I'll go do my due diligence. Right now, I'm not too high.
Nick Tri-State said 2K sold me on VJ King. If you know, you know.
VJ King.
That's who that is.
Sorry.
Daniel Fagang said, "Where the fuck is Pirate gone? Bring him back on the show."
Is he working? Chill.
Out at sea.
The neighborhood start running them off the block, stealing their Wi-Fi.
He was talking crazy.
Hey, somebody made Pirate walk the plank.
Yeah, I play with Pirate on 2K.
Is he not?
For real?
Pretty good big.
Is he an old head? I'm gonna say, is he like an old head big? Is he like?
Is he good at the fundamentals?
He's a pure inside big, like set screens,
fundamental big,
buddy.
fundamentals.
Buddy, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. Get your big ass in the corner. Open the lane.
There's no 5 out. There's no 5 out.
I'm trying to dunk pimp. You gotta hit this corner 3.
For Mimo said, "It's love, Damo. It's love." Laughing my ass off. Laker Nation up.
He the one who said you made his day worse.
I know. I remember what it was. I remember the name.
Mm-hmm. Your fave pitcher said, "Chill. Thoughts on the Emancipation Proclamation?"
It's a sham. That's what the Emancipation Proclamation is. It's a sham. Slavery was going to end in the North anyway, so
they told you that back in 1860.
It doesn't make a difference. Slavery was going to end in the North anyway, so all the Emancipation Proclamation did, even though this is a joke, because apparently I'm the butt of the old jokes on here. Whatever, I'm cool with that.
That shit Zen Master been on my nuts, bro. Like, it's not even that bad, gang. Trust me, I know. You know it gets bad when I'm wearing my hood up, bro. Like, I promise you, it ain't that bad yet.
definitely. That's why my hood been up for a year.
My widow's peak ain't even came back in all the way yet. Like, I'm still good right now.
Good. You still go out.
Hayward Jablomi said, "Bron no longer GOAT. Malcolm X was right. Shout out to Ticket."
Oh, he talking about what LeBron tweeted. He getting hella hate for that.
Oh, it's like that. Hey, man.
Early Cofield with the super chat said, "I was high on Tyler Honey." I think he meant Tyler Honeycutt. R.I.P. Jason Tatum vibes. He has to mean Tyler Honeycutt.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
What did James tweet, Jalen? I don't know what he tweeted.
Just about the situation with Israel and Palestine at the moment, showing support from one side. I don't want to talk about it too much here.
Yeah, we will get.
Which is fine. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to do that. All I'm going to say is it's important that when you talk about something, you need to know what you're talking about.
100%. Be informed about it. 100%.
Yeah, sometimes silence is an option.
I'm not.
Sometimes
Absolutely. My grandmother had a 6th grade education. The smartest woman that I've ever met told me a long time ago. She said it's better to keep quiet and let people assume you're an idiot than open your mouth and confirm it.
And I will say that particular situation, I've taken some time to really learn it. Like, it's a very complicated historical situation that goes back over 100 years. You know.
Oh, chat, rat tail check. I got you. Hold on.
Oh, you got a little rat tail too? Okay, Damo.
I don't even know if they can see it.
I see a little.
Damo got a shag.
Hold on.
Damo got a shag.
I gotta say,
What the hell is happening
That's
here?
crazy.
Trying to wait for it to grow more so it can be a real rat tail. It's still in the process.
Yeah, he got the Cameron Williams right now.
Shout out Damo's rat tail. Dropping Dime said, "Question for Damo: would you trade for Dinwiddie?"
Trade who for Dinwiddie?
What's the reason?
No,
I'm gonna take that as a no.
I wouldn't even trade Dinwiddie.
How about Torian Prince?
Torian Prince, Cam Reddish, and I ain't gonna lie. Give me till December to tell you how I feel about Christian Wood, and I'll make that happen. I will.
Would you do if you had to throw Max Christie in there? Would you do it
for Dinwiddie?
No, say
no. Can I replace Christie for J Hood?
Sure.
Yes. If I do J Hood instead of Christie, absolutely.
Interesting. Okay.
JB with the super chat said, "Damo, thoughts on the UFC changes?"
I'm out on you. After Kamaru lost to Leon Edwards, he became a bum to me because I think Leon Edwards is the most overrated fighter in the world. So out on Usman. I hope he loses to Chimaev. I really hope he dogs him. And in terms of in terms of the champ v champ fight, I love it. I want him to get his run back. I'm mad Charles can't get the fight, but it is what it is. Niggas say you're tripping. I hate Leon Edwards. I've hated Leon Edwards for a long time. Leon's been. I get it. He's nice. When I say overrated, I don't think that he's. When I say I think he's a bum, it's straight cut. I just don't like him. Obviously, Leon got hands. Leon can fight. Leon's a prolific striker. I don't think Kamaru Usman should have went out like that. If you're as great as you say you are, your wrestling should have been better. You should have did way better. Kamaru let me down. I thought Kamaru was a welterweight GOAT, and he's not. In all honesty, he's not. So Kamaru let me down, and I think Leon is pretty beatable.
Yeah, I'd be.
Keeping it pushing. Keymon Thomas said Stockton 26 points and 9 assists versus the Warriors in 0-2. The Jazz won.
That was a Rook. That was a Rook Gilbert Arenas, but that was a 40-year-old John Stockton. I'm on record. I'll say it. I'll say it one more time for the people in the cheap seats. He would have ate Gil's lunch.
Football Breakdown said Damo be like Darwin Hammis.
I'm not saying anything like that. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with none of that going on over there. I really don't.
Styles Black said Monty at 6 ? Ain't no fucking way. What are y'all seeing?
Obviously, what you not seeing because you ain't watching them coach.
Clearly, you're not watching him coach.
Yeah, they're gonna bring up the Game 7.
They're gonna bring up the playoffs.
And every great coach has had one of those games. Every great coach has had that.
One series ain't gonna kill you as a coach to me. It's a process of things.
Mm-hmm. We still talk about Gregg Popovich as a great coach who took Tim Duncan out the game in Game 6 in the crucial part of the game. That was a huge thing to do. So give me a break. Coaches
Tim
make
Duncan
mistakes.
also missed a layup in Game 7 because he's a bum.
Oh, look who it is, y'all.
The birthday man.
Happy birthday, Ox.
Happy 43rd. Happy 43rd.
I say, how old you turn, huh?
45.
Oh, 45.
Oh, my bad.
Ron ain't even know his
Disrespect.
birthday. That's crazy.
Oh, disrespect.
His birthday. That's crazy.
Hey,
How about y'all just gonna sit here and act like Big Ox didn't show up at the end of the shift and he expect to get paid like all the rest of
Yeah,
it?
Chill don't give a damn if it's your birthday. Chill do not care if it's your birthday.
Hey,
man,
whether or not he's here for 4 minutes or not, man, he showed up to work.
I have no expectation of getting $1 today. But I just wanted to make sure that somebody showed some love to Asia Wilson and her Las Vegas Aces. That's all I wanted to make sure because I know y'all
talked about it earlier.
Oh, they actually did talk about it. They actually did.
We did talk about it. 100% we did.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I told you can't dump it down to Jacquel Jones and think that's gonna mean something. There's too much fire.
Well, it did. That's not the problem. The problem ain't Jacquel. The problem is that their guards, Vandersloot and Sabrina, are completely getting dominated. They have no answer.
That's what I said. I said you can dump it down to her, and it's not gonna matter because there's too much firepower up there. That's all.
They both of those girls are getting outclassed, and it ain't close. It's not close. Y'all got to play better. Otherwise,
bring out them brooms. Bring out them brooms.
Otherwise, this series is over.
Man, them brooms ain't coming out.
Ron, what happened?
Hey, once again,
I'm gonna pull up yesterday to watch the game.
Yeah, I was in traffic. I was busting moves. You know, I had to go see somebody mama, and then I had to go see somebody's daughter, and then I had to go, pick up some groceries. Then I had to go eat the groceries. You know how that go. But hey, with that being said,
which type of groceries?
Eat the groceries that you buy.
Groceries.
Come on, man. Y'all gotta stop.
I went straight to Janae.
Yeah.
Right? You ain't the booty like groceries, bro?
Nah, come on, man. See, y'all gotta stop taking things out of context. See, y'all always looking for something to go viral. Y'all always want to take something to the extreme. But anyways, with that being said, though,
you eat Asia Wilson's groceries.
All right, bye. The show's over. Hey, look, Open Gym is next. Open Gym is next. Shout out to Asia Wilson. Shout out to Aces. Shout out even more to the Liberty. They'll be back. Open Gym next.